following is a presentation of WCTV Sports.
Understand Wadsworth's big-time opponent. Look there.
They dismantled Medina. 51-7 was the final score.
Here is the Grizzlies as they come onto the field here at Arkwright Stadium. Good look at Bryson Hall, number 16, the freshman quarterback for the Grizzlies.
Goes over the middle.
Intercepted
by Madigan.
55-10 Wadsworth, but Wadsworth came out, handled their business, and they showed Dominique why they're one of the best teams in the area. Caught, touchdown.
These boys are in shape. These boys are strong, and they definitely are playing some quality football here this season.
He's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. Jacob Ernest.
Welcome to University Hospital's Rangers Stadium and a Division II Region 6 playoff matchup between the number 4 seed, 9-2 North Ridgeville Rangers, and the number 5 seed, 10-1 Wadsworth Grizzlies. The stakes, they're a little higher this week. The competition will be fiercer, and the atmosphere here at University Hospital's Rangers Stadium electric. Tonight, the journey to the championship continues. The winner moves toward the goal of a state title. The loser, frankly, goes home. Tonight, legends will be made. Dreams will either thrive or die in this critical matchup. So folks, settle into your favorite chair, grab your favorite snacks, and join us right here on WCTV as we witness the heart of Ohio high school playoff football. Hello folks, we're pleased to come to you from University Hospital's Ranger Stadium in North Ridgeville. I am Mike Elkins along with my partner Robert Rickenbacker. And Robert, what a difference a week makes as the Grizzlies righted the ship and routed the North Wilton Bears 38-7 last week in the opening round of the playoffs. The offense, the defense, they dominated the line of scrimmage as the Grizzlies amassed 345 yards of total offense on just 39 plays from scrimmage, nearly 9 yards per play. Now, the junior tailback, Cooper Gray, again, he scorched the home turf for 186 yards on 10 carries behind that phenomenal offensive line. And Bryson Hall, the freshman quarterback, as we've talked about all season long, he was 12 of 17, pretty efficient for 142 yards. But most importantly, folks, no interceptions. Now, the Grizzlies D, they were back to form. They allowed only 194 total yards last week. 41 of those came on that garbage. It was during garbage time on a Joe Kinney to Nick Piazza touchdown strike.
Yep, Mike, absolutely. They were phenomenal last week. The Grizzlies pounded the Bears last week in a revenge game that left no doubt who the true National League suburban champions were last week. Now, with that said, yeah, it was a 38-7 win. North Royalton's gone. Now the North Ridgeville Rangers are here. Tommy Hahn redeemed himself last week. He had a rough week in their loss to North Royalton. Tommy Hahn had one interception, one forced fumble, and a pass breakup. Jacob Ernest continues his terror against opposing offenses. We'll take a break here for the national anthem. Fourth down strip sack. Gavin Madigan, 9 tackles. Now, Cooper Gray, average 21.2 yards a touch. He had 233 total yards. He had 4 touchdowns, 50-yard run, 22-yard run, a 68-yard run, and a 47-yard TD pass.
And that was only, Robert, in just 2.5 quarters of play because we saw Cooper Gray as the running clock occurred in the third quarter. Didn't play much in the second half.
Not at all. I mean, Bryson Hall, as you said, was steady as can be. Jacob Ernest, 4 catches, 51 yards. Luke Maddox, 4 catches, 32 yards. Bring up Luke Maddox. Not only was he a good, steady receiver, but we're going to miss him tonight. He's out injured. I hate to see that. So we'll see what Coach Todd does and moves around the offense. But, yeah, the Grizzlies did right the ship in a great way last week. Hey, we're going to need it all this week against these Rangers.
Now the Rangers, they are a program that has turned it around since head coach Brian Morgan was named. He was named in 2021. And I believe we're going to take a timeout here as the North Ridgeville Marching Rangers will perform the national anthem. Under the direction of Ranger Assistant Band Director Paul March.
North Ridgeville Rangers.
Yeah, so in 2021, Brian Morgan named as the head coach here at North Ridgeville, and last year the Rangers finished 8-4. They actually won their very first state playoff game in program history last year in round one, beating Valley Forge, and then the following week they traveled on the road to a familiar Medina Highland and lost that football game. Last week the Rangers hosted a home football game against Toledo Start and dominated the number 13 seed 42-6. The Rangers compete in the Southwest Conference, and they finished second behind Juggernaut, undefeated Avon.
Yep, and who tonight, the winner of tonight's game, probably will be playing Avon next week. Avon is in a rematch game against Olmsted, I believe, tonight. So
yeah, they are. So you got, this Rangers team, they're led by 4 senior All-Ohioans, tight end and do-it-all weapon Charlie Steinmetz. And let's talk a little bit about Charlie, because folks, when you watch him play tonight, he might remind you of another number 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob Ernest, we both said that. We thought he resembled him. He's a big, physical young man. Stein, so 6'2", 200 pounds. Charlie Steinmetz is. He's a weapon both ways. He's almost evenly matching up, almost 550 yards rushing and 550 yards passing, give or take a few yards. He's very dynamic runner, and then you have a big bruising tailback they have back there too. Yeah,
they got Zach Barnhart back there. We thought maybe that's their version of our Thunder and Lightning, but that offensive line is anchored on the left side by big number 54 J.D. Radway. He is 6'4", 300 pounds, and Robert, he was 350 last year. Yeah, the young man worked his tail off, dropped 50 pounds, and came into two-a-days in incredible shape. We talked to Coach Brian before the game. He talked about how much quicker he is.
Yes, absolutely, and he's going to need those quicks tonight. Big offensive line the Rangers have. They average 276 across the front. They have bookend tackles that are 300 pounds. And 276 is the biggest offensive line we've seen in years. So we're going to have to, we don't have anyone that side of us on the defensive line. We're going to be with our speed guys, Troy Myers and Zach Wise, probably Kincaid in there as well. We're hearing Bryce Polchek is not going to be able to play tonight. He's out for the night. That senior, hopefully we can get to play next week. But they got a big offensive line. It's going to be an interesting match tonight.
And defensively for the Rangers, there are 2 guys that really defense go, and it's the Southwest Conference Defensive Player of the Year, 6'1", 210-pound senior Carson Mattis.
What's interesting with him, he's got 66 tackles on the year, but as you noted, he's more of a run stopper. He's going to first and second down on runs. That's where he comes. He typically comes off the field on passing down, so that's interesting. Defensive Player of the Year playing 1 or 2 downs every series, that's impressive.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience because Carson Mattis is one of those guys, and we talked to Brian Morgan before the game. He was going for a youth movement when he came in here in 2021, and Mattis has started since he was a freshman.
And many of these players have. And as Coach Morgan was saying, he had to change the culture around. They hadn't had much winning here at all in the history of the Rangers, and he had to turn it around. And as you saw, it just slowly progressed year after year, and that's a great program to see happen to.
Yeah, another number we're going to call quite a bit defensively for the North Ridgeville Rangers is number 4, Austin DeShazo. He's 6'1", 220 pounds. He's a senior. He leads the Rangers with 102 tackles on the season. He's a 3-year starter, and he's in the middle. And one of the things that's going to be challenging, I think, for the Grizzlies tonight is the Rangers have nobody going both ways. Yeah,
there are no two-way starters, and that's by design. Coach has worked his tail off to make sure they had good enough athletes on both sides of the field, and we've done that in the past. It's great. You get a lot more practice time and a lot more quality. Iron sharpens iron. That's how you get better, is number ones against number ones, and you can practice the whole time that way. That's a phenomenal opportunity if you can do that. It's very rare that you can have enough players to do that.
So Madison DeShazo will set the tone for the Rangers defense offensively. Charlie Steinmetz, the senior, number 6, his style of play, as we've already mentioned, he kind of reminds you of a Jacob Ernest. He is their best offensive weapon, and they're going to try to get him the ball in a number of ways. He's their number 1 receiver and target of quarterback Cole Miller, and they like to use him not only in short pop passes and wheel routes and bubble screens, but one of the things that the Rangers are very, very good at is running the football, so we'll see him on some counters tonight.
Definitely on counters, and again, as a big young man, 6'2", 200 pounds, with a head of steam running, you'll see him at slot, H-back. Sometimes lines up in the backfield as a fullback. So it'd be interesting where they get him and what matchups and what adjustments these coaches are going to have to make throughout the game.
Yeah, like our very own Jacob Ernest, this kid's got great hands and is effective at the yards after the catch contact. He is a very physical player, much like Jacob Ernest. I'm really excited to see that matchup tonight. Jacob defensively against Steinmetz on the offensive side of the ball.
They're led by a quarterback, junior quarterback, 6'4", 201-pound Cole Miller, number 10. On the year, he's 79 of 133 for 1,129 yards, 11 TDs, 2 interceptions. What we've seen was they pass for about 100 and rush for about 200 a game on average. So they're definitely a heavy rush team. We'll see if the Grizzlies, what they can do to stop that. As you see, the Grizzlies far left here are starting to, you can't see at the north end of the stadium here, coming in, and they're all white uniforms tonight.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing the white on white, or it's been a while since we've seen it. But, Robert, let's talk about some of the keys to the game. If Wadsworth, if that offensive line can get into DeShanzo, the linebacker, and Madison maintain their blocks, it could be another big night for the Grizzlies. Cooper Gray. He's averaging nearly 200 yards per game over the last 5 games.
Incredible. And again, you can't take anything away from Cooper Gray, but he's going to give all the credit to the Wadsworth offensive linemen of Jordan Jones, Brady O'Connor, Merritt Fortner at center, Gabe Lucky, and Eli Kaufman. They've done a phenomenal job all year for the Grizzlies, and we're going to have to lean on them heavily again tonight.
Now the Rangers, they have a high-octane offense. Last week for Toledo Start, who were the champions of the Toledo City League, they delivered an early knockout blow with a 42-6 victory. Their running back duo, the Rangers of Charlie Steinmetz and Zach Barnhart, combined for 192 rushing yards on the night to help lead the Rangers to tonight's game. Now, their first 2 drives last week against Toledo Start. Drive number 1, 6 plays for 69 yards. Drive 2, 5 plays for 68 yards. So there's a lot of similarities, Robert, between Wadsworth and North Ridgeville. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be a great game here tonight. First time, we were talking about, first time we've played since 1930.
Yeah.
Almost 100 years ago. Incredible that those 2 programs played back when Wadsworth Grizzlies were in the Grizzlies back then.
Right. It was actually called the Northern League back then, where Wadsworth and what is now North Ridgeville competed in 1928 to 1930. The all-time series, Wadsworth is 1-2. The first 2 losses to North Ridgeville, 13-6 and 12-0. There's Justin Todd looking to go 69-32 and advance to the semifinals of the Regionals Division II Region 6 playoffs.
Wadsworth, we did not see the coin toss, but it looks like Wadsworth must have won the toss. They're going to be kicking off with the Rangers.
Yeah, back deep is going to be number 21, Carter Clark. He's their key returner. He's 12 returns on the season, 250 yards. His longest is 28 yards. And special teams, Robert, is going to be key to this football game here tonight.
As deeper you get in the playoffs, every mistake is critical, and other teams looking to capitalize on it. And it's going to be a special game tonight.
Jack Dinwiddie has it teed up on the near hash. And we are moments away from week number 2 of the second season here at University Hospital's Rangers Stadium. And this one will go through the end zone. And
that was 8 yards deep.
Yeah,
nice strong kick.
Yeah, and he's been a weapon all year long, Jack Dinwiddie.
And I saw him warming up here. He was at the 50-yard line kicking a 50-yard. He was at the 50-yard line. He was kicking a 50-yard field goal. I mean, excellent leg. 4-year starter for the Grizzlies. Here we go.
Very talented defensive front there for the Grizzlies. You see Zach Wise, number 5 on the right side of your screen, Troy Myers. And number 57 in there on the other defensive end, that's Carter Raymond. Raymond, a sophomore.
Miller throws quickly off to the left. Caught by Steinmetz, number 6.
Yeah, we're going to see a healthy diet of Steinmetz and those little bubbles out there to the edge and try to get him to use his athleticism. He's a guy that does it all for North Ridgeville. 96 touches on the season with over 1,000 yards and a total of 14 touchdowns. So as Steinmetz goes, so goes that Ranger offense.
They gave him 4 yards on that reception. Brings up 2nd and 6. Miller keeps it. Bounces it outside. Finally taken out of bounds, but he picks up the first down before he does.
Miller's carried the ball 54 times this season for 254 yards. He's got 3 touchdowns on the ground, does the junior quarterback, Cole Miller. And he's not a guy that you're going to see tuck it and run often, but there he did a nice job with the belly fake, pulling the ball out, keeping it for a nice gain, and gives the Rangers a first down.
And he's averaging about 5 carries a game. He does a great job in that option offense. There you go. Hand off to Barnhart. Gets around the side.
Zach Barnhart, 5'10", 200-pound junior, comes into the game with 1,133 yards and 20 touchdowns.
20 touchdowns, 8 catches for 78 yards, so he will come out of the backfield every once in a while as well and catch it.
Yeah, we talked about before the game, you know, the team that is the most physical, obviously, and the one that makes the fewest mistakes could walk away from the quarter round into the semifinals.
Steinmetz dancing. Does pick up, comes very close to the first down marker.
Yeah, Steinmetz showing some really quick feet there, and another first down for this Rangers offense.
First down, Rangers!
And again, they're averaging about 229 rushing yards per game, and this is their bread and butter. We talked to head coach Brian Morgan before the game, and the Rangers love to run the football. It's what they're good at.
Handoff.
That time Myers was able to drag down Barnhart from behind.
Ranger ball carrier number 36, Zach Barnhart, in on the tackle for
almost like Miller was, he was dragging that out really late. I don't know if he was trying to keep it. Miller comes over to the sideline, gets the play call. Plenty of time on the play clock. 2nd and 8. This time Steinmetz is out of the slot, number 6, top of the screen. 2 running backs in the backfield at the moment. Looking to throw. He's got time, he goes deep. Boy, there's a fight on the ball here.
Tommy Hahn is on the coverage, and they're going to give the reception to the Rangers.
Number 8.
Landon Nepshield on the reception, and the Rangers strike first with a big play in this quarter final.
What happened there, Tommy Hahn had coverage. He looked back, They fought for the ball.
Yeah, I mean,
the receiver just found the ball first. Tommy Hahn trying to track it, turned around, and he was caught. 1st and 10 from the 20. Here goes Steinmark.
coming up there making a big stick is Jacob Ernest.
Ranger ball carrier number 6, Charlie Steinmetz.
Got hit that time. You were wondering who's going to put the wood down first.
That was the first matchup, first time Jacob Ernest has been on a stop for the Grizzlies and laid the wood on Steinmetz. Short gain on the play of 1, 2nd down and 9 now from the Grizzly 19-yard line.
Number 36 Barnhart in the pistol behind Miller. Trips to the bottom of the screen. Hand off to Barnhart right up the left side. He's got some running room. Tackled by Maddox.
Gavin Madigan on the stop, and Barnhart with a good gain now for the Rangers, but it does bring up a 3rd down, the first 3rd down, I believe, or second 3rd down now for the Rangers. And we came with pressure off the corner. We took the outside gap, and Barnhart goes to the inside for the gain. 3rd down and 3 from the 13.
Steinmetz is in H-back formation, and he's the lead blocker. Hand off to Barnhart, who does pick up 1 or 2, but he still takes a lick.
Yeah, it looked like on the stop there was Sean Kincaid, and I believe Zach Wise also on the stop. That'll bring up 4th down now for the Grizzlies. 4th and 1.
4th down.
From the 11-yard line, the Rangers in the red zone. Now this could be a big turn of events here if the Grizzlies can kill this drive as the clock continues to get inside of 8 minutes here in the opening quarter.
Steinmetz is at H-back. Hand up to Barnhart right up the middle. He looks like he may have gotten the 1st down. Let's see where the spot is.
Yeah, looked like Brady O'Connor was in there.
They did give him the 1st down.
Yeah, he did get enough for the 1st down. Now it's 1st and goal now. Ball's going to be placed just inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Ball placed at the 9-yard line. 1st and goal, Rangers!
Yeah, this is the bread and butter for the Rangers, right? They love to run the football. They've got a big offensive line, and
Barnhart behind Miller in the pistol. Steinmetz to the right in the H. Back formation. Late, it seemed like a late handoff, but you got it. Picked up maybe 3 yards.
Jacob Ernest on the stop. Also there, Troy Myers. Myers will step out now as his 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Checking in at that nose position is Wyatt Osborne, the 5'10", 250-pound junior. On the left side is Carter Raymond.
Yeah, Gabe Lucky, number 61, was checking in, I thought, there. With nose.
You are correct. I apologize.
No.
It is Lutke.
Empty backfield. Hand off to Steinmetz, who's trying the right side here. He's got a lot of white jerseys in front of him. He may have lost a yard.
Now that's a really nice job by Calix Lemp on the corner. He's stringing that play out because he knows he's got support coming from behind him in the form of Gavin Madigan. So why not use that sideline as your 12th defender, and Madigan helps come up and clean it up.
3rd and 6.
3rd and goal from the 6-yard line.
I would imagine if the Rangers don't convert here, they may go for a field goal.
They do have an all-state kicker in their linebacker.
Yeah, Austin DeShazo.
Barnhart behind Miller in the pistol. Miller's going to throw. Pulls it back down. Now he's got pressure. Throws it in the end zone. Incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
Now that's really good coverage on the play by Jude Holler, the freshman. Pass was intended there for Charlie Steinmetz, and that does brings up 4th down, and it looks as though the field goal unit for the Rangers are coming on, and great job by the defense here to keep them out of the end zone.
Buckling down after that first drive. Nice drive by the Rangers.
Yeah, just over 6 minutes.
About a 23-yard field goal attempt. Kick is up. I hear whistle. Kick was good. So Rangers take their early 3-0 lead. 5:51 left in the first quarter. Grizzlies defense, hey, it takes a little bit to figure out what everyone's doing and make the adjustments here.
Well, we're excited to see offensively. We do know that Gavin Madigan is going to return to the Grizzly offense, but not so much in the running back position, but more in the slot.
That's what we're possibly hearing here. We'll see. It's something that no way the Rangers have seen all year either.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen game film on Gavin Madigan in the offensive side of the football for 4 weeks at this point.
And you're definitely not going to take Cooper Gray out of the tailback spot at the moment with 200-yard average.
Brian Morgan in his 4th season has really done a great job here. And the Southwest Conference is a tough football conference. We talked about the Suburban League. I mean, Southwest Conference is another conference just packed full with great football programs.
Avon Lake, Midview's in there, Amherst, Elyria, North Olmsted, Olmsted Falls. Here we go.
Troy Myers back deep for the Grizzlies, and it'll be a squib kick.
Squib kick. Grizzlies going to take the ball at close to the 28-yard line.
Schmelzer will cover it up. Schmelzer also on the scout, one of the scout players of the week for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, they had a long list of scout players of the week. Scout team players of the week. It was an excellent job seeing that. And actually, I saw at least one freshman on there.
Yeah, Brandon Deshausey. We apologize if we don't get the name correct. And here we go, 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies.
2 receivers both ways. Lemp in motion. Hand off the, fake hand off the Gray. Lemp brings it down, makes one Ranger miss, and then picks up close to 8 yards on 1st down.
I like that. You get the ball in the junior's hand.
Number 7,
Calyx Lemp, and nice job on the edge there by Jacob Ernest. Just getting enough of the defender that allows Lemp to get his shoulders turned upfield to get a good gain for 1st down.
Hall rolling right. Thrown. McNeil does a great job bringing that in. He does pick up the 1st down. Chains will move.
Frank McNeil is one of those guys on this Grizzlies offense. He's kind of like one of those unsung heroes. He does a nice job of handling punts, but that's a nice catch there for a 1st down for Frank McNeil and the Grizzlies.
Quick. We're going to get the Grizzlies moving around a little bit here. We had a bunch trips formation, bunch tight to the right side of the offensive line, with one at the top, which was Reese Simmons. Again, once again, seeing that senior back playing after the injury he had earlier this year. I was glad to see that.
Zach Wise is going to check in offensively as Jacob Ernest heads out. So you got Wise and Lemp and Reese Simmons to the left of your screen. On the near side is McNeil. He'll be joined by Zach Wise.
1st and 15 for the Grizzlies after the penalty. Wise in motion. Hall's going to roll left. Step back throws. Low. They're going to call that incomplete.
Yeah, ball was short to Reese Simmons. Reese got to come back to the football on that. That'll bring up a 3rd down, I believe 2nd down and 15 now for the Grizzlies.
2nd down from the 37-yard line.
Again, at offensive line, Jordan Jones, Gabe Lutke, Merritt Fortner, Brady O'Connor, big Eli Kaufman anchoring the right side.
You got Gray in the pistol behind Hall. 3 receivers top of the screen. Hall looking to throw, throws quickly off to McNeil. Caught, maybe picks up 5 yards.
Yeah, I think he might have got back to the original line of scrimmage, but I'm going to say he was inbounds, so the clock will continue to run here in this opening quarter.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 is what they gave him 6 yards on that. Wise checks out. Ernest checks in. Ernest is going in the slot formation. Hall almost got the Rangers to jump. We look at number 2 in the backfield with Hall.
Pressure coming from the left side.
It's a screen. And number 4 for the
Yeah, that's awesome. Deshazo
saved maybe a touchdown, because if it wasn't for him, he had 4. Madigan had 4 white jerseys out front blocking for him.
Deshazo, again, 6'1", 220 pounds, and See Madigan limping off the field, and that's going to be a 4th down and 4 now at the 48-yard line. So we've seen this before, Robert, where Bryson will drop back and just pooch punt it.
Pooch punt it, yep.
And this one you might want to do a coffin corner kick. Play clock is at 11. All drops back. He's going to try and draw them off sides. He'll kick it.
Nice kick, gets it up in the air. Nice roll for the Grizzlies.
And that will pin the Rangers inside the 10-yard line. So a nice job by Bryson Hall, pinning the Rangers deep in their own territory with 3:11 here in the opening quarter. The Rangers in their opening possession drive 74 yards and get a field goal. And the Grizzlies come up empty on their opening drive.
Well, worse than coming up empty was seeing number 2, Madigan, limp off sideline. Hopefully did not re-injure that ankle.
1st and 10 now from the 9-yard line.
He is in the secondary currently, so Madigan's back in there. That's good to see. Barnhart with the carry right up the middle.
Madigan on the stop. He comes in from that free safety spot. Jacob Ernest also on the stop. But the problem here, if you're Wadsworth, is North Ridgeville's getting way too many yards on 1st down.
2nd down from the 14-yard line.
You've got 2nd down and 4, gain of 6, and that seems to be the rhythm now for the Rangers.
Yes. And that's not good, but yeah, they're still adjusting here. This is the second offensive possession for the Rangers. Let's see what other adjustments we can make here. You got a big offensive line, like we said, 276 yards across the front. That's a lot of beef up front. Miller throws off, complete, picks up the 1st down.
Pass intended in Landon Nepshield on the reception. 1st down, as my partner just said. For the Rangers, they continue to move the sticks here at University Hospital's Ranger Stadium.
I believe that was Jude Howler on coverage, number 21 for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, you're right. These two programs haven't seen each other since 1930. So there's a lot of adjustments. You look at game films, but as we talked about, as we'll come back to this after this play.
Miller keeps it, fake the jet sweep, keeps it, runs right up the middle. He's going to pick up maybe 5 yards on that 1st down carry.
As we talked about before the game, you can look at game film, and you kind of get an idea of what a team is going to do, but in the playoffs, there's always seems to be a little wrinkle that might come in.
Yep, and then once you see the wrinkle, how do you adjust to it?
2nd down and 4 now.
We have
from the 27.
2 receivers each side of the field for the Rangers. Miller looking to throw once again. He's got time. He rolls left. He's directing traffic, throws, and almost completed and almost intercepted by Madigan.
Yeah, Madigan, he had great break on the ball. He's coming from about the hash mark, and he's got to close quickly on number 17. That's Ryan Anderson. Anderson, 6 foot, 183 pounds. Anderson with 12 receptions on the season, 168 yards on the year, 2 touchdowns, but that's a great pass breakup by Gavin Madigan.
Great pass breakup, and it brings up 3rd and 4 for the Rangers. Got trips to the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, this is the money down. This is where you want to get your defense off the field.
Barnhart with the carry right up the middle. It looks like he's going to pick up that 1st down.
Kincaid and Bollinger on the stop, but that offensive line just doing a job for North Ridgeville. There's your lineups here tonight. Olmsted Falls at Avon, St. Francis de Sales at Highland, and Sandusky at Anthony Wayne. The winner of this one will play the winner of Avon.
Sean Kincaid goes off limping after it looks like he was in on that tackle. He gets up limping. Number 23, I think, checked in for the Grizzlies. Brad Watson. There's Steinmetz. He's got some running room down the right sideline. Still on his feet. Lemp saves the touchdown and pushes him out of bounds after a huge gain here.
Now, a big gain. The Rangers do a nice job of sealing the Grizzly defense to the inside. Steinmetz gets to the outside, turns it upfield, and he's a physical guy, as we've talked about.
Flag on the play.
You have a flag on the play.
Plays calling back, coming back. As you see the replay here, just Madigan dives, just gets his
There's
ankle.
A hold right there. Yeah, number 22 on the hold, I believe. will get the infraction, but I believe it might have been enough for the first down. Still a first down, yeah. So the hold was downfield. So the Grizzlies getting somewhat of a break there, but you've got to, I mean, you know they're running. So Wadsworth
rotating the defensive front down. We got number 84 in there for the Grizzlies. Anderson Tetzel in at right defensive end. Hand off to Barnhart. Barnhart patient, picks his hole and bursts through it and picks up a good 6 yards on first down. Once again, partner, they've got to limit this first down yardage.
Barnhart, an 1,000-yard rusher on the season coming into this football game here tonight, as we're nearing the end of this opening quarter and what has been a quick one. North Ridgeville up 3-0 over the Grizzlies. Again, North Ridgeville, number 4, Division II, Region 6. The Grizzlies, the 5th seed.
Hand up, Miller keeps it. Tries the left edge. And there's some hitting going on down there, ladies and gentlemen.
Troy Myers getting a hit there, but not before. A first down for the Rangers. Cole Miller saw the look at the 6'4", 201-pound junior quarterback.
The Rangers lead 3-0 after 1 quarter here.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to the trenches where North Ridgeville really dominating the line of scrimmage right now and certainly adding the yardage up. This drive started at the 9-yard line. When we come back, as we start the second quarter,
Ball's on the 40-yard line.
Ball's on the 40.
Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely right, partner. The offensive line's getting off and giving them great push, picking up 5-6 yards on every play.
I think number 73 there in your screen, that's Cassetto Ashton. 240 pounds, 6-foot junior.
Yeah, a nice mix of seniors and juniors on this team. They'll have a decent team back next year as well.
Number 54 there, that's Jack Radway. That's the 300-pound left tackle that we were talking about.
The result of the last play places the ball at the 40-yard line for a
first down. Here we go.
Ranger.
It's 1st and 10 from the 40. See, Carlos Inostroza is in the game. We got 2 receivers down at the bottom of the screen here. Hand off to Steinmetz. Steinmetz gets hit but does not go down.
Ranger ball carrier number 6.
Gavin Madigan coming from the backside, chasing Steinmetz down. You got to wonder if the foot is still bothering him. He doesn't appear to be as quick and as fast as he was earlier in the season.
Yeah, high ankle sprain can be a slow healer for sure. So that was a 7-yard gain, brings up 2nd and 3. Hand off to Barnhart. He's got pushed. You got Troy Myers there just running down the line with Barnhart. Finally gets some help from the secondary.
That's Madigan that's stretching the play out, and nice job by Gavin on that play as he was able to hold the ball carry up and wait for support from the secondary. That'll bring up 3rd down and short now. Now if you're North Ridgeville, this is definitely 2-down territory, being up 3-0, and you've dominated the line of scrimmage thus far. Wadsworth needs a big stop defensively.
It's actually 3rd and 1 now. Barnhart with the carry.
And they got it. That'll bring up 4th down. Is a no gain on the play. Troy Myers in there, and down on the field right now is Zach Barnhart.
Yeah, slow to get up.
He took a lick from
Officials, timeout.
Troy Myers. We hope he's okay. Zach Barnhart again, the 5'10", 200-pound junior running back. North Ridgeville, 3-0.
Early in the second quarter, here's a replay of it.
And we get bent backwards, it looks like, as Jacob Ernest comes in. I believe Troy Myers is there first. He pulls him down, Jacob Ernest, and he falls backwards, it looks like. He's sitting up on the field now. That's a good sign. He's up on his feet.
Looks like he's holding his ribs, maybe. Good to see he gets up and jogs off the field.
Result of the last play is a first down, Ranger.
Well, they did give him a first down, Robert. Looking at the screen, it looked like he was short, but they gave him a first down regardless. And
I would agree with that, partner. I didn't think he got it either, but
it didn't look like he got the yard to gain. Instead of 4th and short, it's now 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for the Rangers.
I believe that's Swain in the pistol formation in the backfield now instead of Barnhart. Miller hands off to Steinmetz.
There you go. That's how you read that. You've got to watch that offensive line. That backside is pulling, and he's going to show you which way
Ranger
that ball's
ball,
going.
number 6, Charlie Steinmetz.
Nice
Tackle made
defensive
by
place.
Grizzlies, number 23,
Tackle
Brad
for a
Watson.
loss. That's the first TFL on the night for this Grizzly defense.
Second down.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12. And it's interesting to see Miller comes back into play for the Rangers. He goes to the sideline every play. He gets the play call and then comes back in.
Tavion Swain in the backfield for the Rangers.
Miller looking to throw. Now rolls right a little bit. Just can't find anyone. Just throws it to the sideline. It's going to be out of bounds, I believe.
Jude Holler on the coverage. Pass is intended there for number 17, Ryan Anderson of the Rangers. Brings up a 3rd down and 12. And this is the longest 3rd down for the night for the Rangers.
Great job by the secondary of the Grizzlies there, making sure everyone was covered. Miller had time as he was rolling right, surveying the field, and he had a hard time finding anybody open. Brings up a big 3rd and 12. Got 2 receivers each side. Barnhart back in there at tailback, but Miller's looking to throw over to Miller. In and out of the hands of number 8. Receiver had it. That would have been a first down if he held on to that.
Yeah, Landon Nepshield wants that one back because that was a first down, and the Grizzlies will catch a break as Nepshield just a quick out, and ball hits him right in his hand. So that'll bring up 4th down and 12 now for the Rangers. Ball is at the 32-yard line of the Grizzlies. Cole Miller trying to convert.
A big 4th and 12.
Yeah, this is a big down for this Grizzly D.
Barnhart is in the backfield. Now motions out. He throws. It's a screen. An incomplete. Turnover on down. Zach Wise was right there to knock down or interfere with that throw.
Yeah, even if Steinmetz comes up with that play, Zach Wise is there to make the stop. So the Grizzly D, they get a stand.
Yes, they did.
Turnover on downs for the Grizzlies, and Bryson Hall and company will take over at the 32-yard line.
See what Coach Todd's, what kind of offensive adjustments he's made on the Grizzlies' second possession here. Yeah, think this far into the game here, and this Grizzlies' only second possession for the night. We got
play clock at 9.
Some late running in. There was some confusion going on. Inostroza's in the slot in the 3 Miller. Hall throws wide open. Ernest over the middle picks up a good 14, 15 yards on first down.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, I love that play. That's just a quick seam route, and Jacob just settles into the open area. Bryson Hall hits him and hands Ernest with a first down pickup for the Grizzlies.
We have Reese Simmons in, number 88, which is the bottom of the screen. I see Inostroza in up at the slot, and I think that's McNeil, number 14, at the top, too.
That is McNeil, yes.
Wise in motion.
Timeout. Coach is calling a timeout. Things are not organized offensively for the Grizzlies. Coach Justin Todd sensing this is an important drive for the Grizzlies. Defensively, you got a turnover on downs. First play from scrimmage on the turnover on downs, you get a first down. So good timeout here.
Good timeout. Got to get your composure, whatever the confusion is, settle down. And more importantly, not only do we have to get a nice sustained drive and get points on the board, but we also got to get our defense off the sidelines, on the sidelines and rested for a second here. They've been on the field for almost a good 12 minutes so far of this game.
We talked earlier, we looked at the Rangers schedule. This is their 8th home game of the season.
They had one game that was supposed to be away, got changed, the Valley Forge game earlier in the season due to damage to their field. So they got that one, then last week's playoff game as well. So they've been very favorable home field cooking here.
That's right, home cooking in North Ridgeville.
Gray to right of Hall. One receiver top of the field. Hall looking to throw. Goes deep. Intended for Troy Myers, number 3, who checked in at wide receiver.
Nolan Gill bringing the pressure from that linebacker spot. Gill 5'10", 193.
Intended receiver number 3, Troy Myers. Second down from the 47-yard line.
Number 90 for the Rangers just checks in.
Yeah, he's a ball player. Hamza Famawi. I apologize. Famawi.
Better you than I.
He is
partner.
one heck of a player there at the nose position for the Rangers.
Just coming back, getting healthy. He's been hurt for most of the season. Hall throws quickly off to Lemp. Getting it to his playmaker, who grabs it and
Grizzlies
gains
quarterback
easily
number
5
16,
yards
Bryson
after
Hall,
the
pass
reception.
complete to number 7,
So we're going to bring
Felix
up
Left.
third
Tackle made by Ranger
down.
number 21, Carter Clark.
Clark Carter on the
Ball
stop
plays
for
the 46-yard line.
North
Third down.
Ridgeville,
Yep.
3rd and 3. Got to get a first down here if you're Wadsworth.
There's a handoff to Gray, who gets hit immediately in the backfield and he's going to have a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, that is big number Austin DeShazo, number 4 from that linebacker spot.
Grizzlies ball game number 26,
So
Cooper
brings
Gray.
up 4th and 2.
Leading tackle for the
Let's see what
Rangers,
Coach
number
Todd
11,
wants to
Brett
do here. Is he going to go for it on the Rangers side of the field? Or is it going to be a pooch punt? We got Ernest checking in the trips formations and bomb screen in the slot.
Coach Todd wanting an offsides call.
Yeah.
He's not going to get it. Play
got-
clock at 10.
Gray with the draw, picks up the first down and still on his feet. Touchdown, Cooper Gray.
How about it?
That was a beautiful draw play. Cooper Gray, he had to break
Grizzlies ball
one
carrier,
tackle,
26,
and I
Cooper
think the
Gray.
referee had one
Gray,
nice
45-yard
block in there. If you get a
touchdown
replay of this, there was one Ranger that may have gotten to him, but I think the ref picked him off.
You see 51, that's Ludkley pulling. He
Right
gets a
there.
good block. Brady O'Connor with a great block. The official with another block. And Cooper Gray will not be caught. Grizzlies take the lead 6-3. Dinwiddie on for the PAT.
Kick is up. It is good. Grizzlies on top, 7-3.
Grizzlies taking number 42,
7:49
Jack
left
Dinwiddie
in the
with one
half.
after.
Yeah, how
With
about
7:49
that?
to go
Just
in the
like
second
that, the
quarter.
Grizzly
Visiting
offense
Wadsworth,
comes to
Grizzlies
life.
7,
Jack
North
Dinwiddie
Ridgeville
there.
Rangers 3.
He'll take the tee and kick it off with 7:49 here remaining in the opening half. And well, that's something Wadsworth really needed, my friend.
Absolutely. Cooper Gray not getting a lot of touches so far in the game. And boy, I think the first carry was lost there. And then boom, down the sideline he goes.
Yeah, great counter action on that play as well. You've got the 2 backside linemen pulling and did a great job.
Nice hole.
Yeah, great hold and great job by the official.
Yes.
We'll give credit where credit is due, my friend.
Cooper Gray had to break one tackle, looked like a jersey was being pulled back, and he breaks that, and off to the races he goes.
Yeah, Cooper showing that great vertical speed that he's shown all year long.
You got to keep that. He's got to keep that 21-yard average. You can't deny Cooper Gray. Jack Dinwiddie, senior, number 42, getting ready to kick it off for the Grizzlies.
Take another look at it. You'll see the backside lineman, Ludke, he's pulling. A nice kick out block by Eli Kaufman there. I'm sorry, that was Jordan Jones on the pull. That's Jones.
Excellent camera work.
We do have 2 cameras atop the press box here at, I almost said Hartright Stadium, or University Hospital's Ranger Stadium.
Kick is away.
And we got a
Whistles.
whistle.
And a penalty flag. It looks like they may have gotten the Grizzlies offsides
Yeah, that
on the
is-
kickoff. So they're going to push it back 5 yards. Jack Dinwiddie's going to kick it again.
Full start penalty called on the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
for the
these are
kickoff.
things that
5-yard penalty.
you
and a
have to
recap.
keep an eye on. These small mistakes in a football game this close can come back to haunt you later on in the game. Yes, it's a 5-yard penalty. And I didn't get a chance to see if that would have been in the end zone or not.
No, I did not either. I'm hoping this one does go into the end zone, nice and deep. Jack, first kick was 8 yards deep in the end zone.
Coach Todd perhaps doesn't agree with the call as he wants an explanation there from the official. We'll tee it up again. Go back to that 3rd down conversion, Robert. How big was that to keep this drive alive for the Grizzlies?
Yes, and like we said, the second drive, Coach Todd made some adjustments. You can't ask for anything better than that.
So we'll kick it off now from the 35-yard line.
Jack Dinwiddie ready this time. Kick is deep. He's going to bounce at, taken at the 10.
That's Swain, Tavion Swain on the kick return.
He's going to get up near the 28-yard line before he's stopped. So the Rangers come in for the 3rd possession of the night with 7:42 left on the clock in the half.
Augustus Titus, the 6'2", 185-pound sophomore on the stop for the Grizzlies. So have the Grizzlies figured out this run offense of the Rangers? They certainly stopped them on their last drive on a turnover on downs. Need a repeat performance, Robert, with 7:42 left here in the quarter, in the half.
No running back in the backfield with Miller at quarterback. Now Steinmetz takes this handoff on a counter. Ernest tries to bring him down, still on his feet, picks up the first down and a little bit more after that, breaking a couple tackles.
Ranger ball player number 6, Charlie Steinmetz, tackled by Grizzlies number 54, Radio
coming
Connor.
down tonight.
Yeah, Miller does a really nice job. He's putting the ball in the belly of Steinmetz, and Steinmetz is reading the block on the edge. Watch where his eyes go. And then Jude Holler gets too far wide and turns it inside, and we've got to tackle Steinmetz. He's a guy that you can't wrap him with arms. You've got to drive through him.
Hand off to Barnhart. Left. And Brady O'Connor, number 54, on the tackle.
Ranger ball carrier number 36.
Yeah, the right guard there for the Rangers, number 58, Andrew Flesher, 5'9", 260 pounds. He does a nice job maintaining a block there, and that opens the running lane for the Rangers offense. Another big gain on first down, 2nd down and 5 now from the 47-yard line for Cole Miller and company.
Yep. Barnhart in behind Miller at the pistol. Got a bunch. 3 receiver bunch at the top of the screen or to the left of the tackle. It's going to be a handoff to Barnhart. Kincaid, the first one to make contact. Brady O'Connor, number 54, was there as well.
Ranger ball
yeah, Zach Wise there. One of the things I think, Robert, we've got to do a little bit better job of is getting off the block. We saw that in week 10 against North Royalton.
3rd and 1.
We got to find a way to shed the blocker and get to the ball carrier.
And it was a big question, were we going to be able to do that? This is the biggest offensive line, probably the strongest offensive line we've seen. So our guys are definitely at a disadvantage, 50, 60-pound disadvantage across the line in some cases.
3rd down and short now for the Rangers.
Barnhart throws it up in the middle. He got the first down and more.
Madigan on the stop along with Jude Holler, but not before a first down for the Rangers as they continue to drive the football here in the...
They fake it to, you see Barnhart coming off, but they fake it to Steinmetz on the counter, and he goes up and lead blocks, and Barnhart comes in right behind him. Much like Zach Wise lead blocking for Ernest. I mean, we know how devastating that is.
Trips to the right now for the Rangers.
Swain in the backfield now in motion. This is going to be a throw from the receiver. Hahn, great coverage.
Outstanding coverage by Tommy Hahn.
Tommy Hahn, great coverage. He turned around and looked for the ball. Great job. We're on the Rangers sideline here, up in their side of the press box, and you can hear them calling for interference, but I think that was a pretty fair no call there, my friend.
Oh, I thought that was great coverage. He doesn't bite on the screen out there. He stays with his guy, and you know what? Tommy Hahn, we've seen him grow up over the last couple of weeks, and he doesn't bite on. He's the defensive player of the week. I mean, he finds the football.
Yep, he's looking back, and he's playing the ball. I think that's an excellent job.
Miller keeps it.
Right up the middle. Short gain. He's going to bring up 3rd down. Let's see how many yards, what they gave him.
Going to be 3rd and about 6 on the play. Looks like they gave him a gain of 4. 3rd and 6 for the Grizzly defense. Big stop, Robert. If we can get it, you might end up forcing the Rangers to punt, considering where the football is.
Yeah, the ball's placed on the 37 currently of the Grizzlies. Could be 4-down territory. You never know. They're picking up 5-6 yards at a clip.
Coach Bryant of the Rangers. Here we go. 3rd down, 6 for the Rangers.
Barnhart with the carry, following Steinmetz, and down he goes.
Kevin Madigan coming up from that free safety spot, tackle for a loss. Big play by this Grizzly team.
So now the Rangers quickly back to the line of scrimmage, trying to catch the Grizzlies off.
4th down and 6 for the Rangers.
Yep.
And yeah, coach is going to, I believe, North Ridgeville will call a timeout. And what a play by Gavin Madigan, forcing this 4th down. And now North Ridgeville likely wants to talk about it.
Yeah, it's 4th and 6. If they go for it and don't make it, the Grizzlies going to get the ball in relatively decent field position if that would happen. But Grizzlies are still trying to figure out this offense.
In other playoff action here tonight, Division II, Region 5, Hudson is at Cuyahoga Falls, Lake High School at Hoban. Green is at Nordonia. That's going to be a good football game.
In correction, and not correct, it was Walsh Jesuit.
Walsh Jesuit.
Falls,
I said
yeah,
Cuyahoga Falls.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah,
yeah it is Walsh Jesuit, undefeated Walsh Jesuit.
Yep.
And again, Green is traveling to Nordonia. As we've already mentioned, Olmsted Falls is at Avon. Toledo St. Francis de Sales is at Medina Highland tonight. Sandusky at White House Anthony Wayne. In Region 7, Division 2, Massillon Perry's at Sunbury Big Walnut, and Canal Winchester comes to Massillon. Again, those are Region 7, Division 2 contests. This one, Grizzlies up 7-3 with 4:12 left here in the first half.
Okay. Rangers are going to look like they're going for it. Barnhart behind Miller. Where is Steinmetz at? Miller looking to throw. Throws over the middle. Knocked down. No penalty flag. That was Tommy Hahn on the coverage once again. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. Grizzly defense does it again.
Yeah, that is an outstanding play. 2 plays on this drive by Tommy Hahn, who had just a spectacular performance last week at that corner position. So Bryson Hall will bring the Grizzlies out. They'll have the ball, 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line with 4:07 remaining.
Reese Simmons, Lemp at the bottom of the screen. Top, I think, is McNeil once again. Hand off the, caught by Lemp. Knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 40. It'll be a short 3-yard gain
Grizzlies
on first down.
Number 16, Bryson Hall, pass complete to number 7, Calix Lemp.
Well, a nice job there by that offensive line as they were able to maintain that block against number, I believe it was 95, but I don't have a 95. Yes, I do. Ensley Christian at the nose.
There's Cooper Gray with the handoff, but boy, he's smothered as he gets to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, number 11 on the stop.
By Ranger number 11, Brett Liner.
Brett
1-yard loss on play, third down.
On the tackle.
Liner, 5'10", 180-pound senior.
Should bring up 2nd and 8. The Rangers, faithful, are really getting into the game over here.
Rangers are showing blitz off that corner. That's Mattis, who we haven't called his number a lot tonight.
Number 1, yes, off the edge.
Again, he's that Southwestern Conference Defensive Player of the Year. He's
Hall.
bringing pressure.
Yep, Hall looking to throw. He has to elude him, steps up, throws, caught. Big pickup. He's going to pick up a good 16, 15 yards.
Yeah, Frank McNeil on the reception, but I got to tip my hat, my friend, to the big right tackle, Eli Kaufman, with an outstanding block on Carson Matus, the Southwestern Conference Defensive Player of the Year. He allows Bryson Hall to step up into the pocket.
Yeah, you can see him step up in the pocket and then go to the right, find the receiver. Hall looking to throw once again. I think that may have been knocked down, or at least
Wadsworth quarterback number 16, Bryson Hall,
hit
pass is
at the
incomplete.
line of scrimmage by one of the Rangers defenders.
Yeah, the closest there was Will Reese.
So incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10. Lemp at the slot at the bottom of the screen. Reese Simmons there as well. Gray behind Hall. Hall almost got the Rangers jump once again.
Play clock at 10.
Wise in motion. Hall just pitches it quickly to Gray. He's got some running room. Picks up the first down. He explodes through that hole.
Yeah, nice job downfield. On the downfield block is Will Reese.
And that
Good
to
to
me
see
is
him back in the.
more of a like a pitch than an option. He just kind of, wouldn't you call that a pitch?
Yeah, it's a pitch, but it's a quick run. Like
Yeah.
he's sizing up his blocks, and that time the Rangers are all over it as Mattis gets in there for the stop.
So that was a loss of 3.
3-yard loss on the
Brings up
play.
2nd and 13.
Second down.
2:13 left. Both teams have 2 timeouts left.
And Wadsworth, we're assuming, won the coin toss and deferred and would get the ball in the second half.
Ball on the 35 of the Rangers. Hall looking to throw. Throws over the middle to a wide open, just misses. Was that Lemp? Just misses Lemp by 2 feet.
On the
Grizzlies
coverage,
quarterback
there
number
was number
16, Bryson Hall,
16,
pass
Perry
incomplete.
Dixon.
Intended receiver number 7, Caleb
And
Slump.
Lemp does a nice job. He
Third down from the
beats his
35-yard
defender.
line.
The ball is just a little long for the junior wideout.
Lemp getting some good news last week.
Yeah, Lemp with a offer from D1 Mid-American Conference School, Kent State.
His first offer. Congratulations to the young man. I even love how he responded even better than that. Big 3rd down and 13 for the Grizzlies. Hall going to throw. Caught.
Now you're going to say incomplete. Pass was intended for Calix Lemp. That brings up 4th down, but most importantly, it does stop the clock
Grizzlies
for the
quarterback number 16,
Rangers.
Bryson Hall, pass incomplete.
Lemp, after receiving
receiver
his
number 7,
offer,
Caleb Slump.
what you heard it, I'll let you
down from the
repeat what
35-yard
he had
line.
to say after getting the offer.
Oh, obviously you're excited, to get an offer from a D1 program, but then he quickly reshifted his focus and said, you know what, we got a game Friday night. We got to get ready and focus on North Ridgeville. And here we are tonight, folks, up by 4, 7-3 with 1:36
4th
remaining.
down, 13 yards to go. Hall surveys the field over the middle.
Pass
There's the
interference, we'll get it.
interference. 1st down, Grizzlies. It was intended for Inestroza, number 9, and the defender was a good 2 yards early.
Yeah, Carter Clark is going to get flagged on that, but then you've also got, you got a defenseless defender there as well. And so pass interference would be the call. That would give the Grizzlies a 1st down.
With 1:31 left in the half. Here he gets a replay of it. Time you get there, you can see him just.
They got there way too early. So 1st down, intent for the Grizzlies with 1:31 remaining here in the opening quarter. And this is important that the Grizzlies could put this one in the end zone.
Yes, especially if they can put it in the end zone, then they get the kickoff in the second half. It'll be huge. And you can see the Rangers are not a quick, I can't say they're not a quick strike offense, but they sure like to methodically go down the field and pick up 4 or 5 yards at a time. So if we can get up on them, that'd be great to see. Here we go. Gray trying the right side of the Rangers defense, picks up maybe 5 yards.
And that's more Cooper Gray-like. 6-7 yards per carry. That brings up a 2nd down. And I believe they're going to give him 5 on the game. 2nd and 5 now from the 15.
Clock down almost to the minute. Play clock, plenty of time on the play clock.
Mattis will flex on that right side.
There he goes, Gray off to the right side again, close to the first down marker. Let's see what they give him.
Grizzlies ball carrier.
It looks like he's just shy of the first down.
McNeil doing a nice job on the edge, maintaining blocks out there, and that allows, those are the small things that allow your running back to get a couple of extra yards. And so Wadsworth will call a timeout with 3rd down and short with 42 seconds left.
You got 1 timeout left. So maybe 3 plays.
Let's see, we got the ball, I think, on the 12-yard line. I think you've got enough to run a play on the ground and then quickly back to the line of scrimmage and shoot for the end zone.
You do have the 1 timeout left, though. Jack Dimwitty in the background, they're warming up.
How solid has this defensive unit been today? I mean, outside of that 80-yard drive, or I beg your pardon, it was a 74-yard drive that converted into 3 points for the Rangers. This defense has been lights out.
Lights out.
So you see on your screen the number 15 Wadsworth and 14 North Ridgeville. Those are state rankings in Division II, statewide. So here we go. 3rd down and 2 from the 12.
We have Zach Wise, Lemp, and McNeil at the bottom of the screen. Hand off to Cooper Gray right up the middle. It's going to bring up 4th.
Now that's enough for a first down. Yeah, that'll be 1st and goal now.
Chains will the clock temporarily stops. Now it's running again.
Yeah, I got to imagine at this point you're going to throw the ball into the end zone. You do have the 1 timeout. You could get away with a run here. Cooper Gray in the backfield behind Bryson Hall. 3 receivers to the left.
There goes Gray. Boy, almost broke it. He gets down to the 5-yard line. Last timeout's called.
Grizzlies ball carrier number 26.
Yeah, so he gets just inside the 5. We're going to mark it just inside the 5-yard line. 17 seconds left here.
Timeout Wadsworth.
I think you got to go for a couple shots here in the end zone. You're out of timeouts.
Trying to think what's your best offensive pass play here in this range here.
Well, we saw it last week, and I believe it was actually Maddox who was wide right, and the ball was located in a similar position on the field, and we just did the quick slant. So on that particular play, Robert, we had 3 lined up to the left, 1 to the right, which was Maddox.
Maddox was 6'2", 195 pounds, so he was a good receiver to shield off the defender on that slant, like you said.
Yeah, we got McNeil who could be lined up out there as well. He's 6'2", 185, so he's got good size to him as well if you get him on one-on-one coverage. And Bryson Hall could hit him on a quick slant. That could be open here for the Grizzlies.
Let's see, Lemp is coming to the left side of the field, the bottom of the screen.
Now that's the other option that you have. You got Reese Simmons over here who could seal the inside if you can get the ball on the edge to Lemp.
You have 2 receivers each side. That is Madigan in motion, thrown to Madigan, and caught on the bounce. Is it a touchdown?
Oh,
wow.
What a
Gavin Madigan doing his best imitation of a juggler, catching that ball. Was that hit off a defender and back into his hands?
I think that it just hit those hands and bounced up off of them, and he's able somehow to reel that ball back in. He's beating the defender. It's hard to tell if the defender hits it, but you see Madigan, he reels it in, he's got it, and we might have gotten a break.
I think we got a break there. He may have ended up, ball down, kick is up, is good. Grizzlies do take a 14-3 lead with 11 seconds, but boy, that replay looks like the ball was still moving as he went out.
Yeah, he did not have control. If we could have John replay that back to us, he just didn't have control, but nonetheless, the official calls it a touchdown with 11 seconds here and left in the half. What a break by the Grizzlies.
You just see it as he's going down right there. He's still moving in his hands.
And his knee is out when he does have possession. His right knee is beyond the boundary. He's out of bounds right there. Great camera work upstairs. And the official missed that one.
And he was right there in front of it, seeing it. So
Yeah, he's looking right at it, and Wadsworth with a break, and we're lined up to kick this one off with 11 seconds remaining here in the opening half, and the Grizzlies up 14-3. Back deep is Carter Clark.
Jack Dinwiddie knuckles it down the side, and it goes out of bounds. They're going to give the Rangers the ball at the 35-yard line with 11 seconds left and 2 timeouts.
Yeah, and as we've seen, Robert, this isn't an offense that can really, go deep on you. And what we've seen here for the Grizzlies, however, we can take the top off on this North Ridgeville secondary.
Absolutely. Now you got Lemp getting loose a couple times. We have not made that big connection, but he still has to scare the Rangers defense at the speed of Lemp.
Well, we've proven we can get behind the secondary. It's just, as you said, making that connection. They'll talk about it at halftime, I'm sure, but what a job by this Grizzly defense thus far in the opening half of this one. Only allowing 3 points.
Miller looking back, drop, has pressure, caught quickly out of bounds, goes Steinmetz.
Ranger quarterback number 10.
I think that was, Steinmetz on the reception.
6 seconds left.
Ball plays to the 48-yard line. First down, Rangers.
So enough for maybe one more play. And it's got to be to the end zone, I would have to think, or maybe a hook and ladder. You never know.
Well, you risk turning the football over, and Wadsworth running something back for a touchdown, but 6 seconds left.
Miller looking to throw, quickly off, caught by number 8. I think he's still in bounds. Nope, they do stop the clock. 2 seconds on the clock. Oh, they called the timeout.
Nepshield on the reception, Tommy Hahn on the coverage.
Timeout North Ridgeville.
And so the Rangers will talk about it with just 2 seconds remaining in what has been a terrific football game here in the first half of this quarterfinal. I mean, 2 football teams that you've looked at them over the last several years. They keep getting better and better and better, and more kids are interested in the program.
Yes, and obviously Coach Todd's grown this program over the 8-9 years he's been here now. Great job. Now you're seeing.
Take another look at this.
Rangers.
This was called a touchdown. Gavin just unable to haul it in right there, but he finally does, but not before he's out of bounds, and that right knee is just beyond the line.
Here we go. 2 seconds left. Last play of the half.
You know who else had a good look at it was Calix Lemp.
Yes, and he called touchdown. Amazingly, I don't know how he didn't see anything different. Miller's got pressure. Now looking. Down he goes. That is the half. Ball is loose. Picked up. Oh, they're calling him down. Kincaid thought he was going to go back for a touchdown.
Well, Jacob Ernest will get credit for the sack, and the Grizzlies end the half in fine fashion, scoring 14 unanswered points and dropping Cole Miller for a sack to end the half.
That was hard fought, 14 points without a doubt by the Grizzlies. Some gutsy running, some gutsy pass catching. Hey, enjoy this halftime. We'll see what the Grizzlies and the Rangers do and make the adjustments at half, and enjoy the band show.
Yeah, Grizzly Marching Band coming up next, followed by the Rangers. We'll be back.
Percussion Director Ryan Louie, Percussion Tech and Arrangers David Seltzer and Adam Gwynn, Color Guard Directors Jessica Corson and Vanessa Lloyd, and Student Teacher Sarah Plain. This is the 2024 Wadsworth High School Marching Band. On the field, the band is led by drum majors Jake Roebuck, Maggie Catafias, and Aaron Casey. Since starting her career on the children's show Barney, Demi Lovato has sold 20 million records. Jake Roebuck leads Lovato's Grammy winner, Confident. Green Day's Good Riddance has become American high school seniors' favorite graduation song. How does that make all you high school teachers feel? We feature Color Guard member Kristen Cetera as Maggie Catafias leads Good Riddance. ABBA's Dancing Queen, Billboard's #2 song of all time, has sold over 3 million copies and been played on the radio 6 million times. Tonight, we feature our drumline as Aaron Casey leads ABBA's Dancing Queen. enjoy tonight's halftime show. This is the Wadsworth High School Marching Band.
Let's hear it for your 2024-2025 North Ridgeville High School Ranger Marching Band. Our field commanders for tonight are seniors Lucas Cresa and juniors Amelia Bennett and Sophie Yost. Our Ranger Marching Band is proud to present a little bit of everything from our marching band season as we enter week 12. We kick our show off with our take of You're Gonna Go Far Kid by The Offspring. Known for its infectious beat and powerful rock vibe, this song captures the spirit of ambition and drive. Here's to rocking out to a modern anthem that embodies going the distance. As we are here to bring you the soul and energy of James Brown's legendary I Got You, I Feel Good. With a lively drum break and an unforgettable band dance, get ready to feel the good vibes and the full force of our groove with a little extra help from our auxiliary line. our show to a rocking conclusion, we ask that you travel with us to the 70s for a disco favorite that's sure to get you on your feet. Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind & Fire will have you grooving along with our band. is under the direction of Haley Bryson, Megan Arnica, and Paul March, and auxiliary coaches Max Fisher, Rachel Jallow and Bartlett, and Leslie Mihelich. We would like to thank our third quarter sponsors, Facility Services, for donating to the Ranger Marching Band for their third quarter staff tonight.
Welcome
The
back
North
to the
Ridgeville
booth.
Band would
Welcome
like to
back to
thank
the booth,
everyone
folks, here
who
at
purchased 15
University
tickets
Hospital's
for
Ranger
tonight's
Stadium
game.
in North Ridgeville,
Tonight's
where
winner will receive
Wadsworth Grizzlies at halftime enjoy a
$598
14-3 lead over the Rangers of North Ridgeville in this quarterfinal of Division II Region 6 Ohio High School Athletic Association football playoffs. Take a look at the first half stats. The rushing yards for the Grizzlies, 69, 68 passing for a total of 137 yards, and for North Ridgeville, 179 yards total offense. Robert.
Yeah, 113 on rushing, which we knew they're going to come and run the ball, but that 66 yards of passing, 38 of that came on one play. So again, predominantly a run team, and this is going to make it very important, as we're going to talk about in the second half here. We get the kickoff. If we can go down and score and put up another 7 on there, it's going to make it very difficult on this run-oriented, slow, methodical offense to get back into the game.
Yeah, leading rusher for North Ridgeville, Barnhart, 15 carries for 56 yards. Miller was 5 of 12 for 66 yards, and Nepshield, leading receiver for North Ridgeville, 3 receptions at 49 yards. For the Grizzlies, Cooper Gray, 8 carries, 65 yards, 1 touchdown. Bryson Hall, 9 of 14 for 68 yards, 1 touchdown. And by the way, Bryson Hall has now eclipsed a 2,000-yard mark as a passer for the Grizzlies, and he is the 6th quarterback in program history to pass 2,000 yards in a single season.
Incredible. The last 2 times, I believe it was Mr. Joey Boffman won Mr. Buckeye football in Ohio here a couple years back. So with that said, also the offense now, we need to get a little bit more yards. We came in needing 285 total yards, so we needed close to 150 more yards offensively to eclipse 5,000 yards, which will be only the 3rd time in Grizzly history that happened. As you see, Cooper Gray's touchdown run.
Yeah, and then here's the touchdown reception by Madigan. They put him in motion and get him moving towards the goal line, and just gets it inside the end line, says the official, and he calls it a touchdown. And Calix Lemp would agree with the official. Where is he? He's putting his hands on his helmet.
That was signaling touchdown. That's what that was.
That is great camera work. We got Abe and Aiden upstairs here atop University Hospital's North Ridgeville Stadium. And Lemp, 3 receptions, 17 yards. But how about Frank McNeil? 2 key first down receptions to keep drives going. He's got 3 receptions on the evening, 27 yards.
Yes, absolutely. And we saw the touchdown by Madigan, but that was set up by the pass interference that Mr. Anastroza got decleated on going across the middle there.
Well, let's talk about that defense real quick, because North Ridgeville with 4 possessions, Robert, in the first half. They drive 74 yards, they get a field goal, and it's 3-0, and then shutdown defense, 2 turnovers on downs.
Shutdown defense, absolutely. But they're eating the clock up a great deal. Again, and they're a slow, methodical team. You can see that. Like we said, we only had 3 offensive possessions in the first half. Go away on the punt on the first series, and the next 2 were touchdowns. Offense did an excellent job adjusting. Defense has too.
So we'll see what the second half has in store for both the Rangers, who are looking to advance to the semifinals next week.
And
it would be the furthest that the Rangers would have gone into the playoffs.
Yes, looking at that, Avon score. Avon was up on 7 in the 3rd quarter over Olmsted Falls, 28-21. So we're assuming the winner of this game here will possibly be playing Avon.
We'll give you some other scores in the area while we have just a moment. Nordonia over Green, 21-14 in the 3rd quarter. Highland, 28. Toledo DeSales 7, that's in the 3rd quarter. A good one down in Stark County. Jackson 14, McKinley 7. Massillon over Canal Winchester 21-7 in the 3rd quarter. Walsh in Hudson. Walsh leads that one 21-7 also in the 3rd. All these games are in the 3rd. Revere being shut out by Toledo Central Catholic 13-0. The Greenman Aurora 21-7 over Geneva. Anthony Wayne shutting out Sandusky 7-0. And I believe Lake and Hoban, believe it, tied at 7.
7 all.
How about that?
Yeah, the backyard brawl of Chardon and the CVCA, 9-6. Chardon up in the 3rd quarter.
That is a slugfest. And here we go. The Grizzlies getting ready to start the 3rd quarter here. Here is DeShazo to kick off for the Rangers.
Troy Myers will be taking this kickoff. It rolls and picks it up near the 4. He's got some running room right up the middle. Knocked down at the 28-yard line. Grizzlies will take over.
Receiving a kick for the Grizzlies, number 3, Troy Myers.
DeShazo was on the stop there, and I was reading an article earlier this week about how even though he's the kicker for this team, he just gets his nose right in there. He's a linebacker, he's a kicker. He's just Mr. Defense for the North Ridgeville Rangers.
He came in on the night with 102 tackles.
Yeah.
Leading the Rangers.
Yeah, 13 solo, 89 assists, 1 sack, 1 TFL.
Okay, Reese Simmons at the bottom of the screen, 3 receivers to the top, Gray behind Hall. Ernest in motion. Cooper Gray right up the middle. Finds a little bit of running room. He's going to maybe pick up 3
Grizzlies ball
hard
carrying
earned
number
yards
26, Cooper
there.
Gray.
Yeah, that
Leading
is
the tackle for the
a
Rangers,
nice
number
job
90,
by that
Denzel
offensive
Malawi.
line, Robert. And it's something we didn't see in the first half is they just came out and just bullied their way for a gain of 4, a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 now.
Cooper Gray with the carry, met in the backfield. Ball is on the ground, picked up. Number 11 picks up the fumble.
Brett Leiners with the big play for the Rangers to start this 3rd quarter, and that gives life to these Rangers as the faithful here are on their feet. Causing the fumble is big number 95. That's Inslee Christian, 235, 6'1" junior. He strips it from Cooper Gray, and now here comes Cole Miller.
Ball on the 32 of the Grizzlies. Great field position for the Rangers.
That's something you don't see Cooper Gray do often.
Barnhart, carry right, no, Miller keeps it. Runs over number 10 for the Grizzlies, which Grady Hughes is in there.
Ranger quarterback number 10, Cole Miller with the QB.
Looks like Zach Wise and Jude Holler on the stop.
21, Jude Holler.
And this is just, he does a good job with play fake. He pulls the ball out, and he's just so good with hiding the football behind the line of scrimmage, is Cole Miller.
Here we got Barnhart behind Miller. Yep, that was a little counter back. The Steinmetz.
It's like Brady O'Connor in there, Jude Holler, Gavin Madigan on the stop. And look, you're North Ridgeville, this is the opportunity that you really wanted.
Huge opportunity.
But this Grizzly defense has been stout, only giving up 3 points to this Ranger offense that has averaged better than 33 points a ball game all season.
Anderson Tetzel's in there at left defensive end at the moment. Troy Myers down the middle, and Zach Wise is at the right defensive end. Barnhart, ball's on the ground. I believe the Rangers did get it back. No, ball is up.
Yeah, Jacob Ernest has picked it up. The whistle did not blow. The play is not down. Jacob Ernest will waltz into the end zone.
What a turn of events there, ladies and gentlemen. Boy,
and how about that turn of events, as you just said, Robert?
It looked like the Rangers had jumped back on that ball and had to squirt back out, and Ernest, the man on the spot.
Now we'll take another look at it as stripping it. There is number 57.
Raymond Carter.
Yeah, that's Carter Raymond. We'll take just one more look at it as Dinwiddie lines up for the PAT. And that's something Steinwatch,
it was
it's just a bad exchange.
Bad exchange. Miller was trying to keep it. Ripped it out last.
The Grizzlies will line up for the PAT.
Excellent job by Jacob Ernest.
Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up. It is good. And the Grizzlies like that, 21-3, my friend.
Wow, what a quick turn of events here. I think the Rangers may be stunned here on the sidelines.
Yeah, let's take another look at this. This is a really, I mean, Carter Raymond, he's like, I'm going to tackle him, and then he realizes the ball's down.
Miller was trying to take that ball back, and that's when it came out.
And there's Jacob Ernest just picking it up off the ground, clearly loose. Nobody has possession of it while they're on the ground. And Jacob Ernest rumbles about 88 yards for the touchdown.
Give that man some oxygen.
Calix Lemp wondering if he's got to pick him up and put him on his shoulders. Come on, big fella. Rumble and stumble to the goal line. How about Jacob Ernest, who's had such an incredible season for the Grizzlies? I mean, doing it on both sides of the ball.
Junior be back next year for the Grizzlies.
And we talked about at halftime, Robert, you know, there was still wind in the Ranger sails, and if they could come out and make something happen, this is going to be a really good football game. And, you know, they didn't capitalize on the turnover. The Grizzlies do, and those are the small things that add up in playoff football.
Yeah, I think that's going to be very, very hard for the Rangers to get back in here down by 18.
This is Carter at the goal line.
Going backwards now.
Got a flag on the play.
That's going to probably back them up even further.
I think that might be on Wadsworth.
Let's see here.
Flag on the play.
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yep, face mask is going to be the call, and that will benefit North Ridgeville, get them in better field position.
Okay. An attack on 15 yards, I believe.
Personal foul penalty called on the Grizzlies for a face mask.
Let's see what happens here. Grady Hughes is closing in to make the tackle.
Yeah, we just look to the right of your screen. Hard to see.
Yep, hard to see. Hand off to Barnhart right up the middle. They tried to get the eyes of the Grizzlies defenders on Steinmetz by doing a in motion and then splitting back, coming back out. But no dice. Grizzlies defense disciplined.
2nd down and 7, and we talked at halftime, Robert, about how you got to reduce Barnhart's runs to less than 5, maybe cut those in half. That time,
3
they allowed
yards.
3 on the carry. 2nd down and 7 now for the Rangers.
Miller keeps it, picks up the first down.
Ranger quarterback
Reminds
number
you
10,
of
Cole Miller
a
with the
Wadsworth
QB
football player
and
last
on the tackle
year.
for the Grizzlies.
We had
Number 7, Calix Left.
Oh, Will Stack.
Will Stack, yeah, I mean, he just does such a great job on the RPO and hiding the football, and he does a great job on making reads.
And he's making some
That's Cole
defenders
Miller.
missing again this year, playing, I believe he's playing receiver up at Case Western. Miller throws quickly off the number 17, caught. Still on his feet, but now going backwards.
That's Ryan Anderson on the reception.
And number 17, Ryan Anderson.
Jacob Ernest, who just stumbled for a Grizzly touchdown after the fumble recovery. What a turn of events. We had a clean first half. Very few penalties, no turnovers. We opened up the second half. 2 turnovers within 3 minutes.
One resulting in a touchdown for the Grizzlies. 2nd and 5 for Miller and the Rangers. Hands off to Barnhart, who tries the left side. He's got some running room. He picks up the first down and more.
Ranger ball, carry number 36, Zach Barnhart. Tackle led by
So
Grizzlies number
ball's
2,
going to be
Gavin
placed on the
Madigan.
Grizzly 42-yard
Ball
line.
placed at the 42-yard line of
22
Wadsworth.
left in the
First down,
third quarter,
Rangers.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the Rangers are not in a hurry. At the same pace. Now we got 2 running backs in the backfield. Barnhart left of Miller. Barnhart takes it.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys that just doesn't like to go down. He kind of reminds you of Gavin Madigan in the backfield, just all the just bowling forward.
And I apologize, that was number 6, I believe, was Steinmetz that was on the
That was
carry.
Metz, yeah, Steinmetz. And you know, when you're down by 18 points here, still plenty of time left in this one though.
That was Barnhart running right into Kincaid first.
Yeah, Jude Holler, nice on the field. Kincaid making first contact. And they're going to mark him short of the first down.
2-yard gain in the play.
3rd and 1 now for the Rangers.
Interesting, Jacob Ernest checking out on 3rd and 1. Healthy check out too. He wasn't hurt or anything like that, so interesting.
Bollinger is in there on the right side in that linebacker spot.
Barnhart with a carry. He's got some running room. Finally taken down by Madigan. But
Ranger ball,
after
carry
a
number
huge
36, Zach
pickup.
Barnhart. And on the tackle for the Grizzlies, number 2, Gavin Madigan.
Yeah, you know, you look at J.D. Radway, that left tackle for the Rangers, 6'4", 300 pounds. And for the Grizzlies, on that right side, that right end, number 84, Anderson Tetzel, 6 foot, 155 pounds. Folks, he's given away 145 pounds to the left tackle.
Hand off to Barnhart. And there we go, back to getting 5-6 yards on first down.
Yeah, you got to tip your hat to that offensive line for the Rangers. It might be 21-3, but they feel as though if they can get 5, 6, 7 yards a pop, it's better than going 20 downfield and then 2 incomplete passes. Yes, the clock still runs.
Barnhart checks out. Swain, number 2, is in the pistol behind Miller. And hand off to him. And he's taken down quickly. Maybe just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Jacob Ernest there on the cleanup, but it was Troy Myers at that nose position making first contact, and nice play there, first down, or actually second down defensively for the Grizzlies. That'll bring up third down in about 3.
Good look at Coach Todd, pacing the sidelines, knowing this game is nowhere near being over yet. The Rangers mounting a nice drive, brings up 3rd and 3. From the 15-yard line. Miller keeps it after faking the Steinmetz.
Yeah, that's a great play by Bollinger. He's filling. He's actually, it looks like he's just mirroring Miller on that play. And a nice job by Bowden Bollinger.
No gain on the play, 4th down.
That'll bring up a 4th down now and 3 for the Rangers. And this is definitely go for it territory. For North Ridgeville. Can the Grizzlies hold their neck?
Barnhart behind Miller, who gets the handoff, has the running room and the first down near the end zone. Touchdown, Rangers.
Well, Barnhart would not be denied, 4th down or not. He found his way into the end zone to close the deficit to 21-9 with 4:50 left in the 3rd quarter.
5'10", 200-pound junior. He is loaded. Like you were saying, very much like our Thunder in Gavin Madigan when he used to carry the ball.
DeShazo, the All-Ohio kicker on for North Ridgeville. They'll cut the deficit to 11. The Grizzlies 21-10 with 4:50 remaining in the 3rd quarter in this quarterfinal. And look at the push from the left side. Nice kick-out block there by number 58.
Yeah, and they did get their lineman number 70 down onto the Ernest. And you wondered if these big fellows could get down and get to the linebacker. He sure did and got right in Ernest's face.
Yep.
They gave him the running lane.
That's Jason Ellison, 6'2", 270-pound left guard for the Rangers.
So Grizzlies going to get their 2nd possession. Hopefully it goes much better than their first of that 2nd half. They're starting to feed Cooper Gray, and they're starting to also key on that too as well. Where Grizzlies offense in the 2nd half started really clicking was when we quick passes off to the left and right and then sprinkled in Gray.
Yeah, you know, one of the better plays that we had in the first half passing-wise was the quick seam route to Jacob Ernest. See if we can't find that again here with 4:50 remaining. As DeShazo will kick things off from the 40.
Knuckler picked up.
Schmelzer will fall on it at the 25-yard line.
2nd one of the night for him.
Yeah. He's getting the gold glove tonight.
Gold glove, but you could pick up 5-6 yards, that young man. And you could pick up a few yards, but yeah, secure the ball first, get it to your offense.
They'll mark it at the 24-yard line. Bryson Hall and this Grizzly offense will come out.
Reese Simmons at the bottom of the screen.
Again, 2nd possession here in the 3rd quarter. They did turn it over in their 1st possession to start the 2nd half.
Dawson Mendel, number 17, is checked in. Here comes the blitz off the edge, thrown, intended for Dawson Miller, number 17. Hall had to throw quickly because number 1 was screaming off the edge.
Yeah, Mattis just with his ears pinned back and headed for Hall, but Hall does the right thing, getting rid of it. There's your Southwest Conference Defensive Player of the Year right there. Mattis, 6'1", 210 senior.
Here he comes again, showing that blitz.
Yeah, and you know, if you're North Ridgeville, you know that you've got a freshman back there. Yes, this is his 12th game of the season.
Receiver-wise, McNeil at the top of the screen. Here comes Cooper Gray with the carry, trying the right side of the offensive line, but the defense just swallows them up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, this Ridgeville Rangers defense feeling it now. 3rd and long now for the Grizzlies. Nice job on that left side.
You have Ernest in the slot in the middle of the trips receiver set at the bottom of the screen. Lemp is in inside. You have the other receiver there is Reese Simmons, who can't quite make out the call. There you go, he has it. Hall thrown off to the right, intended for McNeil, incomplete, just misses him wide. If he could connect, it would have been a first down.
Jim Mraz on the coverage for North Ridgeville. That'll force the Grizzlies into a punt situation, and 2 and out for the Grizzlies offensively. The turnover on their first drive, and 3 and out here on drive number 2.
Jack Dinwiddie checking in when is a true punt situation, which it is. He's punting away. There'll be 2 Rangers deep setting up at their own near 40-yard line.
Yeah, Carter Clark is one of those, I believe. It's Tavion Swain, the other one.
High, but not deep. Takes a Rangers bounce on the Grizzlies. 45-yard line is down.
Yeah, Brad Watson is going to down it for Wadsworth. A good decision by Brad.
Rangers have a great field position here to start this possession.
Yeah, the thing is, when you're in a playoff game, you're going to have a lot of swing of emotion, so you got to stay within yourself if you're Wadsworth here and play your defense as you played in the first half.
Grizzlies looking for a big stop here now.
Yeah, you have to think that North Ridgeville, as they are, they're going to come and punch in the mouth. You're on their turf, 3:57 left, down by 11 are the Rangers.
Ball's on the ground again.
Wadsworth has got it, I believe. We do. Jacob Ernest. No, Zach Wise with it.
Again, Miller trying to pull it out of the belly of Barnhart, and it comes out. I think he's just trying to pull it out too late, and when he's doing that, Barnhart's clamping down, the ball's flipping up. Hey, huge turn of events here. Hey, you're talking about a team that only had 5 turnovers all year on offense.
Yeah, Robert, I think you're right. When you look at that replay, Cole Miller is reading Zach Wise, and he's just letting the ball in there too long. And so Wadsworth, with fantastic field position at their own 48-yard line, will start this drive with 3:52 remaining. Now this is all about converting turnovers into points.
Tommy Hans checked in. He's at the slot at the bottom of the screen. You have Ernest in motion at H-back now. Gray swinging out of the backfield. Hall thrown deep over the middle. Intercepted, intended for Lemp. Underthrown. Lemp did beat his guy, but number 11. What a wild second half.
Brett Liner with the interception for the Rangers. And again, every time you think the Rangers, the wind is knocked out of their sails, they just turn around and make another great play. So here's Liner. He's on the ball, almost a one-handed grab, and Caleb Lemp, as my partner said, the ball is underthrown. Otherwise, Lemp is in the end zone.
And these Rangers are now, they're ready to go. They believe once again. As you see number 11 there with the interception, just all excited now, and rightfully so.
Leinert, the senior.
What a wild second half we have here. Barnhart smothered right at the line of scrimmage. Troy Myers is there.
Yeah, you really have North Ridgeville with a long field in front of them, and really the clock continues to run with 3:28 now left here in the third quarter.
1-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 9.
The front 3 is Zach Wise, Troy Myers down in the middle, and I think it's Connor Raymond at the right defensive end currently. Steinmetz with the carry. Thrown rudely out of bounds by Madigan.
Felix Lemp on the stop over there on the near sideline.
Tackle out of bounds by Grizzlies number 7, Calix Lemp.
So a good gain, however, on second down. That brings up 3rd and short now for the Rangers. 3rd and 2 at the 25-yard line.
Zach Wise checks out. Coming in was Brad Brady O'Connor, number 54, checking in at left defensive end at the moment. Hand off to Barnhart. There he goes, picking up huge change again.
He's just a hard guy to bring down, and you see some of the offensive linemen downfield blocking there for him. Number 58 is down there offensively. That's Andrew Flesher, the right guard. Clock continues to run, however. 1st and 10 now, ball placed at the 34-yard line.
All the Barnhart to the right side, big hole.
Madigan on the stop, but a giant hole on the right side of that offensive line of the Rangers, and Barnhart just hits the hole so well. And he's just a tough guy to bring down. You got to wrap him up, hit him low. But he's hitting him low. He's 5'10", 200. That'll bring Tavion Swain in the backfield after Barnhart picks up the 1st down for the Rangers.
And that's after 276 pounds of offensive linemen got done pushing around your D line too. I mean, that's tough. Steinmetz with the carry.
Offensively, creative play. Steinmetz will get the ball in the backfield, but then he cuts it back to the right.
2nd down.
Hoping the Grizzlies were going to over pursue is what the hopes were there. Grady Hughes, number 10, is in secondary for the Grizzlies with Lemp and Hahn and Madigan. Miller looking to throw. He's got pressure. Ernest chasing him down. Thrown out of bounds, incomplete.
Nice coverage by the secondary of this Grizzly defense, not allowing Miller any options. And that will bring up 3rd down and 4.
3rd down from the 45-yard line.
Ball is placed at the 45-yard line.
Coming in tonight, Miller's only been sacked 3 times. So the offensive line has held up quite well. It was good to see the pressure getting on Miller. Third and 4. Hand off to Barnhart. He stumbles.
He's going to be short of the 1st down.
Just short. He had some running room there too, and he stumbled. I think the turf monster got him on that one.
Yeah, we talked about the vision that Cooper Gray has. Talked about a lot earlier in the season. This young man's got great vision too. He actually read the defender coming in from the outside. He cuts it inside, and he'd have got more had it not been for the Turf Sharks here at Ranger Stadium.
Brings
4th
up
down.
4th and 1. I'm sure it's going to be a handoff to Barnhart, or hey, Miller could keep it running up the middle. Miller hasn't kept it for a moment.
Here comes the blitz.
He just does get it. Grizzlies defense was there, but he does pick up the yard.
See where they mark it. They might measure this one.
Yeah. Not as good of a spot as originally looked.
Coach Todd might ask for a measurement. No, they are. Coach Todd wants a measurement, and he is hot on the sideline.
I think he's just saying it was a bad spot as well.
Yeah. Well, the clock will continue to run here inside of 45 seconds.
Left in the 3rd quarter.
And here you go. This is one of those situations where you let it go. It's 1st down and 10 now for the Rangers. Wadsworth D still on the field. Might be the last play of the quarter.
Hand off to Barnhart. That is the last play. Could have been the last play of the 3rd quarter.
Ranger ball carrier number 36, Zach Barnhart.
A gain of about 3 on the play, and I would imagine in North Ridgeville that I don't think you're going to line up and snap it again.
Rangers going to be down 11. Well, they're going to try to get this one off. Down to 5 seconds and ticking on the clock. 2. They're not going to get it off. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Grizzlies lead 21-10. Rangers finding themselves down by 11 with 12 minutes to play.
Now Wadsworth responds with 21 unanswered points after the North Ridgeville quick 3-0 lead, in North Ridgeville with 7 unanswered points and driving as we start the 4th quarter. It's going to be an exciting 4th quarter, friends.
Absolutely. Hey, what's going to have to happen? The Grizzly offense is going to have to get the ball back. Now, obviously, always going to score, but they're going to have to eat up the clock in a nice drive to keep the Rangers offense off this
and
field.
Natalie Jelinek. Ladies and gentlemen, your Ridgeville Ranger varsity cheerleader.
You talked about it the entire game, Robert. It's a big offensive line, and when they get the push, when our guys aren't slanting and we're not getting into the gaps, that makes for opportunities for Zach Barnhart and Charlie Stenmetz to pick up big yardage.
Yes, and Barnhart is picking up 5 to 6 yards on every carry.
And again, you're looking at a North Ridgeville Rangers team that the furthest they've ever went in the state playoffs is the quarterfinal. That is tonight's game. Should they win, they would make school history by advancing to the semifinal, Division II, Region 5.
Coach Morgan, who we got to talk to before the game, has done a great job building this program over the last 4 years.
Barnhart with a carry.
Off the left side of that offensive line.
Ranger ball carrier
third down and 2.
Ernest and Madigan there
Jacob Ernest.
on the tackle.
Ball placed to the 33-yard line.
He just hits the hole so hard and so fast that he's by you before you even know it.
Connor Raymond checking out. Number 50 for the Grizzlies checking in, which is Jaden Gross, I'm sorry. There's Barnhart to the left.
And that'll be enough for a first down. Caleb Slemper will
Ranger
start
ball
on their
carrier
tackle
number
for the
6, Barnhart.
Grizzlies.
Tackle made by Grizzlies
So the
number 7,
clock
Caleb
continues
Slemper.
to roll.
Ball
It's a
placed to the
2-possession
29-yard
game
line.
for North Ridgeville at this point.
Rangers.
And as we've talked about, Robert, they're very deliberate, very methodical. They rely on the run, and they're very good at it. We talked to Coach Brian, what are you good at? We're good at running the football, and they definitely are. They're proving that here tonight, albeit they're down by 11.
Steinmetz is at that H-back. Fake, yep, they give him the handoff. I'll tell you what, number 54, Connor.
Ranger ball carrier number 6.
Radio Connor
saved the touchdown there.
Grizzlies number 54, Radio Connor. Ball placed
Yeah,
to
this
the 20-yard
defense has
line.
been on the field
Second
a
and
long
1.
time, and that's something that Coach Brian wanted to do, was control the clock in this game, and he's done that. The only problem for North Ridgeville is they're down by 11, but they are driving in the red zone now.
Swain with the handoff. He's taken down quickly by a host of Grizzlies. Ernest is there first, and a couple other Grizzlies right after
Ranger
they're
ball
helping
carrier number
tune
2,
it up.
Jadian Swain.
Yeah, Zach Wise was in there.
Wise and Ernest on the
Jacob
tackle for the
Ernest.
Grizzlies.
Gabe Lucky, number
Gabe
61.
Lutke, yep. So that's a tackle for a loss.
Ball
That brings up
placed to the
third down and
24-yard
5 now
line.
for the
Loss on
Rangers
play. Third down.
as we approach the 10-minute mark here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it, will be 2 down territory here for the Rangers.
And this Grizzly defense stopped the Rangers.
Ball on the 24 of the Grizzlies. There's Steinmetz once again.
Now that time it was played well by Zach Wise, who's the first one in there, Robert.
Madigan's there. Gabe Lucky's in the middle of that.
Ranger
Neil
ball carrier
Connor
number
is
6,
in there.
Charlie
Look who's
Steinmetz.
getting up on the bottom. Jacob
Tackle
Ernest.
made at the 26-yard
Fourth
line.
down.
4th and 5. That was a big stop there. Oh, a loss of 2.
Yeah, that's a TFL for this Grizzly D.
Bowden, they got Bowden. It looks like Bowden Bollinger up on the edge right now.
4th down and 7.
Barnhart behind Miller. Miller looking to throw. Crossing route and incomplete.
Tommy Hahn on the coverage once again, Robert.
Turnover on downs for
Ranger
the third
quarterback number
time
10, Cole
tonight.
Miller, pass incomplete.
The
Inside
Grizzly
receiver number 8,
defense
Landon Nefshield.
makes a
Result
big
of the
stop
play,
on the 4th
turnover on
down.
downs.
That, and now if the Grizzly offense can drive down the field and eat up some clock, this may make it tough.
That's a huge defensive play by Tommy Hahn. He's had 3 pass breakups today. That is incredible defensive coverage by the young man who plays corner.
Tommy Hahn coming in, I think had 8 on the night, 8 on the season, now another 3 tonight, pass breakups.
And some confusion on that.
They got Troy Myers in there, the receiver.
Timeout Wadsworth. Grizzlies. Timeout.
Tommy Hahn had lined up also. So Coach Todd going to take a timeout here, talk it over.
Wise.
It seemed to be some confusion in the offensive set. 21-10, the Grizzlies lead it.
Crazy second half.
It's been a crazy second half. We've had 2 fumbles, an interception, actually 3 fumbles, 2 caused by the Grizzly defense.
1 touchdown off that fumble.
Yeah, 1 touchdown off the fumble, and we saw the interception earlier by Brett Leinert, that almost a one-handed interception. That was only his 2nd interception of the season. Here are the Grizzlies coming out, 1st down and 10, ball at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, McNeil, Troy Meyer, and Tommy Hahn at the bottom of the screen. Hall hands it off to Gray. He's nothing doing. Gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And
Yeah, I think he got
Grizzlies
3.
ball carry number 26, Cooper Gray. Leading
Sorry
the tackle
about
for
that.
the Rangers, number
Partner,
4, Austin DeShazo.
one thing we had learned is, the front
Ball placed at the
6 of
29-yard
the
line.
Rangers is
Second
their
down.
strength of their team. They're very stout. Look at big number 95 at defensive end right now for the Rangers. Here comes the blitz on offsides. How's that not? Okay.
Yeah, there it is. So Mattis is, Mattis has been doing that here in the second half. He's trying to time Bryson Hall's cadence, and that time he got burnt. So Wadsworth will get a gift of 5 yards. That brings up a 2nd down and short. 2nd down and 2 now with the ball placed at the 34.
And if he does time that up, he's screaming off the edge. In no way is Ian Kaufman going to be able to get there quick enough, I don't think, as fast as he comes off that edge. Okay, Gray behind Hall.
Now Mattis looks like he's going to bring the heat again. And Wadsworth, recognizing that, will change the play at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and short.
Ernest at H-back. Throw. Intended in and out of hands of Reese Simmons, number 88.
Grizzlies quarterback number 16, Bryson Hall, passing complete. Intended receiver number 88, Reese Simmons.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
North Ridgeville.
3rd down from the 34-yard line.
Reese wants that one back. Yeah, I mean, that's a 1st down catch. That keeps the clock running also.
It was a good play fake to Cooper Gray. Hall pulls it out. Shoots that little slant over the middle, slant over the edge, and just did not connect.
Plenty of time on the play clock.
Hall rolls left. Throws. Incomplete. They bring up 4th down and 2 for the Grizzlies.
Carter on the coverage. Tommy Hahn, the
Grizzlies
intended
quarterback number
receiver
16,
for
Bryson Hall,
Wadsworth.
passing complete. Intended receiver number 13, Tommy
3rd
Hahn.
and 2, Robert. You're in a really good position here. And 2 incomplete passes when you would think you would maybe try and grind this one out between the tackles.
They have bottled up Cooper Gray here in the second half. They're meeting him at the line of scrimmage, and that's all they're getting.
Here we go, 4th down and 2.
He's going to have to punt this. I don't see him. He's going to try to get them to jump is what he's going to do. There he goes. He's moving back to the punt formation. That's going to be a bouncing kick. It picked up by 21. Saves many, many yards before he's taken down at the 25-yard line. And 21 for the Rangers did a great job saving the good 10-15 yards on that punt.
Carter Clark for the Rangers and Jacob Ernest on the stop. So the Rangers again with somewhat of a long field in front of them now with 7:50 remaining, down by 11. It's a 2-possession game for the Rangers, and they're not a passing offense as we've looked at.
They do have all 3 of their timeouts. That same formation, basically. You got Steinmetz at H-back. You got Barnhart at H-back. That was a throw off the Steinmetz out of the backfield, and he just, that was a little low. Drops it.
Intended receiver number
Clock
6, Charlie
stops.
Steinmetz.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
2nd down from the 29-yard line.
Yeah, you can't fault the play because Steinmetz has been your playmaker pretty much on the edge all game long. Barnhart's had a great game between the tackles, but if you really want to make a difference on the edge, and you need to get to the edge to stop the clock, Steinmetz is your guy. That brings up 2nd down and 10.
Same formation, Barnhart behind Hall to the left, and there goes Steinmetz in motion. And boy, Tommy
Ranger
Hahn
quarterback
break
number 10, Cole
hard
Miller,
on that
passing complete.
pass.
Intended receiver number
I don't know
8,
if he
Brandon
deflected it or
Nutfield.
not, but he definitely
Third down from the
disrupted
29-yard
it.
line.
Incomplete. So we'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Rangers.
I mean, I'm not sure. Tommy Hahn has had to work pretty hard over the entire season. We've seen him grow up as a corner over there, but he is actually having a phenomenal football game here tonight. He had the same last week against North Royalton.
I'd love to see him cause another fumble here.
Yeah, I mean,
or interception. He had that last week as well,
interception. He's got 4 PBUs tonight.
3rd and 10. Miller throws over the middle, intended for number 17, well behind him, incomplete.
Ranger quarterback number 10, Cole Miller, passing complete.
Yeah, that's Anderson.
Intended receiver number 17,
Pressure was coming from the backside on Cole Miller. And Robert, that is the first time tonight that we've really got pressure to Cole Miller.
And they're forcing them to punt.
Yeah, I think at this point, as deep as the ball is, you've got to kick it away. And Cole Miller, I mean, at this point, though, you got to look out for the fake punt.
McNeil and Troy Myers setting up at the 40-yard line.
I mean, I think you set up for a return here. You're up by 11, 7:36.
Make sure it's not a fake, and then go block. There you go. Punts up. McNeil picks it up, and then quickly is tackled. He made sure he had it. He wasn't going to run. He was making sure he had it first. And
receiving a kick for the Grizzlies, number 14, Jack McNeil.
The ball is going to be spotted at the 35-yard line.
Paragor.
Grizzlies take over. 7:26 left in the game. And if they can control this next 7 minutes, the game is over. If they can control this offensive line, somehow has to find a way to open up holes for Cooper Gray here.
But again, I mean, we got to talk about, and I don't know if we talk about it enough, but this defense has been actually phenomenal tonight.
Yes.
I mean, 10 points.
The front 7 is extremely tough for the Rangers.
Well, you got lockdown coverage, Calix Lemp. You got run fill by Gavin Madigan. Tommy Hahn's had an outstanding game.
Gray met a yard behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, a host of Rangers. They brought a posse.
And we had two H-backs, both Wise and Ernest in there. Ernest is going to. Ernest and Wise are both splitting out wide in the trips formation. Ernest is in the slot at the moment.
Mattis is on the top of your screen on the right side, looking to bring pressure.
And Lemp is at the bottom of the screen, one-on-one. Gray's trying the right side, and he's taken down after
Grizzlies
maybe picking up 2 yards. Quickly, it's 3rd down.
Ball plays to the 37-yard line.
On the left side. Yes. We'll get the number. I think it was Big 95. He was blocking big number 95, Ensley Christian, 235 pounds. So Coach Todd will likely let this play clock run all the way down.
Play clock
3rd down.
12 seconds. And let every second you can run out of it. Lemp in motion. Looking to throw. Now Hall's going to run it. Looked like he was going to get a few more yards, but he's still on his feet. Excellent. Heck of an effort by Hall.
And that'll keep the clock running
Grizzlies
as momentum stopped before he goes out of bounds. So Wadsworth will get to burn another 30-some seconds here off of this clock. We'll get down to close to 5 minutes before this 4th down play commences. And I would imagine we're going to kick the football here, Robert.
It'll be a punt by, looks like Hall's going to stay on right now. I want to say the little pooch kick that he does is actually a little bit better than what Jack Dinwiddie has done so far tonight. Jack, great kicker.
Carter Clark is going to drop back for the Rangers.
Caught and dropped, picked back up.
Jacob Ernest.
No.
Boy, this guy's all over the football field. Jacob Ernest.
Rangers, number 21, Carter Clark.
Again, number 21 did an excellent job catching that and saving 10, 15 yards. If that got past him, that would have been a great advantage for the
Ball spotted at the
Grizzlies, but he does a
39-yard line
great
of
job
Ridgeville.
catching that,
First
corralling that, taking a
down,
risk.
Rangers.
And he's got, Jacob Ernest with 2 special team tackles here tonight and a ton of tackles between the tackles.
And one 80-some yard touchdown
83-yard touchdown run. Fumble recovery.
Okay, 5:07 left in the game. Barnhart with a carry. Ernest and company meet him
Ranger
after a
ball,
short
number
gain
36,
and
Zach
takes
Barnhart. Tackle made
Barnhart
by
down.
Grizzlies number
Kincaid's
6,
there as
Jacob
well.
Ernest.
Gain of about 2 on the play for
2-yard
Barnhart.
gain, 2nd and 8.
And quickly now, the Rangers are picking up their pace, getting to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 8 now.
Down by 11. 2-possession game now. Miller throws off to Steinmetz.
And a great job defensively, Robert. Troy Myers is there, Bowden Bollinger,
Ranger quarterback number
Zach
10,
Wise,
pass complete to number
and a
6,
short
Travis
gain on the
Steinmetz.
play, Robert.
Leading
That
the
brings
tackle,
up
Grizzlies
3rd down
number
and
5,
long
Zach
now for the
Wise.
Rangers. And this is a passing situation and
1-yard
something
gain
we
on the
haven't
play.
seen them do
3rd down.
a great deal tonight.
That brings up 3rd and 7. Good look at Troy Myers there. Senior. I think Brady O'Connor down at nose now, 54. Blitz being shown.
That's pressure
He's got
coming.
pressure. Miller throws. Intended receiver can't make it out. Yep.
That's Steinmetz and Calix Lemp
Ranger
blanketing
quarterback number 10, Cole Miller.
Steinmetz across
Pass
the middle on a
incomplete.
drag
Intended
route.
receiver number 6,
And
Charlie
that will bring up
Steinmetz.
4th down, and the
4th
Rangers
down
have to
from
go
the
for it
42-yard
here,
line.
down by 11.
Grizzlies defenders did a nice job corralling Miller, putting pressure on him, but not over pursuing him where they could bounce out and continue running. They kind of surrounded him, did a nice job surrounding him, making sure he wasn't going to run and get the 1st down.
Yeah, Miller's a big guy, 6'4", 201-pound quarterback.
4th down, 7 yards to gain. Miller dropping back. Caught, complete, 1st down, Rangers.
Ranger
Lemp on the
quarterback number 10,
coverage.
Cole Miller. Pass
Steinmetz
complete to number
wins
6,
that
Charlie
battle on that
Steinmetz.
particular
Taking the tackle
play.
for the Grizzlies, number
There's 2
7,
tremendous
Calix Lemp.
athletes going at it
Ball
right there,
plays to the
Steinmetz
49-yard
and
line of
Lemp.
Wadsworth. 1st down,
He's just
Ranger.
got plenty of time, fires at BB. And a nice play there by the Ranger offense to pick up a 1st down. They just get the ball past the 50. They're in Grizzly territory with 3:54 remaining. They have all their timeouts, does North Ridgeville.
2 running backs in the backfield here. I think that's Barnhart and
Might be Swain.
Swain, yep.
And look who, great job defensively by Bowden Bollinger, who
Ranger
shoots
ball
the
carrier
gap
36,
in a
Zach Barnhart.
TFL for this Grizzly
Tackle
D.
led by
Late in
Grizzlies
the
number
4th quarter.
35,
What a big play.
Ballinger. 2-yard loss on the play, 2nd down.
2-yard loss, 2nd and 12.
Rangers quickly back to the line now. Miller throwing. Steps up in the pocket. And he had pressure. He had to get rid of it. Incomplete.
Ranger
Brings
quarterback
up
number
3rd
10, Cole
down.
Miller's pass is
Robert,
incomplete.
Zach Wise was
Intended
bringing the
receiver
pressure on
number
that
6,
play,
Charlie
and
Steinmetz.
he kind of,
3rd down from the
you teach the
49-yard
defender,
line.
if you can't really get there, jump up as soon as that quarterback's getting ready to throw the ball. So he gets in Miller's vision, causes an incomplete pass. There's another young fellow who's had an outstanding year for the Grizzlies, the senior, Zach Wise. 3rd down and 12 now for this Ranger offense.
2 receivers each side for the Rangers. Now number 2 in motion. Fake the jet sweep. Pressure. Miller throws deep and blanketed. Oh, that was a horrible call there. That was no pass interference at all. He was blanketed by Lemp and Hahn. There was
Yeah, double coverage. Tommy Hahn, Calix Lemp on the coverage. We'll take another look at it, but I thought it was blanket coverage by both secondary players of the Grizzlies, and that certainly helps out North Ridgeville. We'll take a look at it. Lemp is back in coverage. It's double coverage. Ball's in the air. Lemp finds it. That is not pass interference, my friends. That is an outstanding football play. Yeah,
that may be a makeup call for the Madigan touchdown, maybe.
Well, yeah, it could be a makeup call, but at that point, you got to let it go. This is the 4th quarter. That happened in the 2nd quarter.
So, still 3:20. Grizzlies still in control, up by 11. Miller dropping back, going deep once again. Probably trying to hope for another pass interference is probably what he's doing.
Pass intended by Nepshield, but Tommy Hahn all over Nepshield. And, you know,
second down from the 36-yard line.
3:13 left in this one, and it looks like Wadsworth really is in control of this, up by 11, two-possession game. North Ridgeville, though, they do have the 3 timeouts, so they have the ability to stop the clock should they score. But I think you want to save those timeouts on the defensive side.
Barnhart still in the backfield here behind Miller. He's blocking for him. Miller under pressure.
Tommy Hahn on the coverage, but the reception is made by Landon Nepshield.
He's still going to bring up 3rd and short. Ball's placed at the 29-yard line of the Grizzlies.
29-yard line, 3rd down.
As we were going into halftime, through halftime, Robert and I talking about should Wadsworth win this, they would be the lowest seed remaining in the region.
Well, assuming there's no major upsets.
Correct, yeah.
Miller gets the ball, hands it off to Barnhart. He picks up the 1st down, still on his feet. He's down near the 19-yard line of the Grizzlies. Play clock stops at 3 minutes left in the game. Rangers quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Miller just chucks it in the ground to kill the clock. Brings up 2nd down, though.
Yeah, at this point, you've got to be thinking, if you're North Ridgeville, field goal does you no good here. You've got to get the ball in the end zone, and then you've got an onside kick.
Onside kick? Well, and do you go for 2? Do you go for 2 to make it 8 points and then for a field goal? Because you do have a good field goal kicker, all-state field goal kicker as well. So
yeah, I would agree with you. I think you've got to go for 2 if you can get it in the end zone here.
Miller looking over to Miller, throws, caught, then hit, and jars that ball loose. Big hit by no less than number 2, Gavin Madigan.
Nepshield, the intended receiver, and Madigan from that free safety spot, laying the wood on Nepshield, still separating him from the ball.
Still bringing some thunder even on the defensive side.
Yeah. I mean, the junior knows how big of a game this one is. Looking to advance Wadsworth back to the semifinals in the region.
3rd and 10 for the Rangers. Miller dropping back, steps up, in and out of the hands.
Tavion Swain, the intended receiver, Madigan on the coverage, and I think at this point in the game, you might have some of these receivers are trying to get upfield before they get the ball in their hands. Tavion looks a little shaken up on the play as he comes to the sideline, and 2:42 left, as my partner said. Now it's 4th down. Now this is the ball game here for the Rangers.
Absolutely. If they don't pick up the 1st down, the game is over.
They are going to attempt a field goal.
Okay.
This would be a 36-yard attempt by Austin DeShazo. Again, he's a first-team All-Ohio kicker.
Kick is up, and that's going to be good.
No good.
No good.
Wide left. And that makes things very, very difficult for the Rangers of North Ridgeville as the defense of the Grizzlies hold once again.
Your North Ridgeville Rangers 10.
A sigh of relief across the way by the Grizzly faithful that have made their way north to Lorain County. As that ball just misses. Wide left. Great work by Aiden and Abe upstairs here. Have traveled with the WCTV crew. John Bernard downstairs. We're missing Joanna tonight.
Yes, Joanna. Now, 2:37 left in the game. Grizzlies going to try to grind this out. Last 2:37. Again, here's where the timeouts are going to start coming off the clock here for the Rangers.
A late substitution for the Grizzlies. It looks like Jacob Ernest may be coming in. Oh, Zach Wise.
Zach Wise. I think that's Ernest in the backfield. Handoff right up the middle.
Yeah, here North Ridgeville will burn a timeout.
Grizzlies ball carrier number 6, Jacob Ernest.
Yeah, Jacob Ernest on the carry.
Timeout North Ridgeville. Rangers timeout.
So North Ridgeville will burn their first timeout here in the second half with 2:30 remaining in this Division II Region 6 quarterfinal here at University Hospital Ranger Stadium in North Ridgeville. North Ridgeville coming in as the number 4 seed in Region 2 Division 6. The Grizzlies, the 5th seed, Division 2, Region 6. The winner will likely move on to play Avon, as Avon is taking on Olmsted Falls, and the last report was Avon up 28-21. I believe the last time the Grizzlies took on Avon was during COVID.
It will be Avon for sure. Avon's winning 52-28 in the 4th.
So if Wadsworth is able to hold on here, they will move on to the semifinal.
Ernest with a carry straight up the middle. Bull on his way up.
That's Gavin Madigan in
Is
the
that
backfield.
Madigan?
Yes, sir.
Grizzlies ball carrier number 2, Gavin Madigan.
Now you've got North Ridgeville will
Timeout,
burn
North
their
Ridgeville.
second timeout.
Rangers, timeout.
2:22 remaining.
And some other scores here. Hoban up 21-14 late on Lake in the 4th. Aurora looks like they will get a victory tonight against Geneva, 35-14 in the 4th.
So another Suburban League school moving on. I'm assuming Highland would move on tonight. Wadsworth would move on.
Highland 35-20 over Toledo Sales in the 4th. Nordonio will be victorious tonight, 35-17 over Green in the 4th.
.222 left here in this one. First, 3rd down and 3 from the 27-yard line coming out of the timeout. 2 receivers to the right. Jacob Ernest in the H-back. Gavin Madigan behind Bryson Hall. Hall will give. Madigan up the middle to the left side. And he's driving for a first down.
That was huge. That push after.
Yeah. Gavin Madigan saying, I will not be denied a first down.
And that offensive line just pushed after that. Here's Hudson.
Grizzlies ball
giving
carrier
Walsh
number 2,
Jesuit
Gavin Madigan.
everything they can.
Ball placed at the
28-21 in the
32-yard line.
4th.
First down, Grizzlies.
And we saw how good Hudson was this year.
Nordonia will move on. Hudson will move on, or possibly move on. Aurora will move on. Bryson Hall with 2 receivers to the left, McNeil and Lemp. Jacob Ernest in the H-back. Gavin Madigan remains in the backfield behind Bryson Hall.
Rangers down to the last timeout.
Give to Madigan, and he'll just sneak through for actually no gain. They might mark
Grizzlies
him for a
ball carrier
loss in
number
the
2,
play, but
Madigan.
North
Gavin
Ridgeville
Madigan.
down to 1
Tackle made by Ranger
timeout.
number 73,
And I
Ashton
don't
Casetta.
believe they'll take it, as Wadsworth
Ball
can
placed at the 31-yard line. Second down.
milk the clock with 1:30 remaining. It is 2nd down and 11.
Madigan checks out. Craig is in there now. And surely this is still just run the ball here right now. Ian Kaufman switching sides, going to the left side of the line now.
So we'll let this play clock run all the way down as it's under 10 seconds. It's 7, Bryson Hall. Cooper Gray behind him. Give us to Gray and quickly take it down. The ball's down and it's picked up. Still down. And it looks like North Ridgeville will recover with 57 seconds left in this one.
Recovering the fumble
Picking up
for
the
Rangers,
ball
number
is
25,
Nolan Gill, the
Gill.
5'10", 193-pound senior linebacker.
The Rangers blowing in there, hitting Cooper Gray as he's taking the handoff. And the ball is jarred loose at that point in time.
And that's Gray's
Ball is placed
second
at the
fumble of
23-yard
the
line.
ball game.
First down,
Second forced fumble by the
Rangers.
Rangers, and you see the Southwest Conference Defensive Player of the Year causing that.
He was hitting him as he was getting the ball 4 yards deep in the backfield. Grizzlies defense got 57 seconds to keep the Rangers at bay here.
Miller looks left, hits Nepshield on the reception. Short gain on the play.
Clock will continue to
Ranger quarterback
run.
number 10, Cole Miller. Pass complete to number 8, Landon Nepshield.
Again, you got to think if you're North Ridgeville, you got to go for the end zone here and get an onside kick and hope for a miracle.
Miller looking in the end zone, looking to his left. That was a drag route across the middle intended
Ranger
for number
quarterback number 10,
17,
Cole Miller, passing complete.
Clock will
Intended
stop
receiver
him,
number 17,
incompletion
Ryan
with 30
Anderson.
seconds left
Third
in
down
the
from the
game.
16-yard
Anderson, the
line.
intended receiver. The nearest defender was Brady O'Connor from his linebacker spot. And yeah, partner, this one's all but over as
this is
the Grizzlies will advance.
We've definitely seen some crazy stuff happen here tonight. You can't say never, but hard-fought game nonetheless.
I mean, a very clean first half dominated by Wadsworth. In the second half, we've had turnovers, we've had penalties. Whether or not they should have been called is irrelevant. Grizzlies enjoying an 11-point lead.
Miller drops back, going to the end zone. This is going to be in and out of the end zone. Intended for number 6, once again, Steinmetz.
Yeah, on the coverage there's Brady Hughes and Gavin Madigan.
Receiver number 6, Charlie
So it
Steinmetz.
does bring up 4th and 3.
Down from the 17-yard
25
line.
seconds left in the game. So the Rangers have to pick up at least 3 yards or the game is over.
And again, just a reminder to our viewers that if Spectrum were to pick up any of the games next week, I know WCTV would not broadcast those games as live, that is. Spectrum would have the rights to do so.
Miller steps up in the pocket. He's got pressure. He's going to go down. He does not get the first down. Turnover on downs once again by the Grizzly defense.
Rangers quarterback number 10, Cole Miller with the QB keeper.
Cole Miller, Zach Barnhart,
play
and
is a
Charlie
turnover on
Steinmetz
downs.
played their hearts out tonight for this Ranger team, and they're going to come up short in the quarterfinal against a very, very good Wadsworth team.
Very good Wadsworth team.
And you know, we talked to Coach Ryan here before the game, and he's excited about the future of the Rangers.
And he should be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's got a lot of great youth. He's got great numbers. We talked about the numbers and the commitment that these guys have to the program. So good luck to the Rangers moving forward into 2025. And the Grizzlies in victory formation. Bryson Hall will take a knee, and that will do it.
Grizzlies down
From University Hospital's Ranger Stadium in North Ridgeville, as your Wadsworth Grizzlies defeat the North Ridgeville Rangers 21-10 and advance into this Division II Region 6 semifinal next week.
Well, partner, that was an exciting game with a lot of twists and turns. Hey, we get a shot at the vaunted Avon Eagles.
Yeah, you know, I think the last time we saw them was 2020. But Robert, when you look at this game here tonight, if you had to pick a player of the game for the Grizzlies, who's your pick?
Ernest always comes to mind. I mean, one way or another, he's always around the ball, some way, somehow. I would have to think Ernest.
Yeah, I would agree with you. If I had a game ball to give the young man, I would give him the game ball. He's an emotional leader for this Grizzly football team.
And I can't take away from Hahn would be number 2. Tommy Hahn played a heck of a game once again.
Oh yeah, no doubt. He had 4 PBUs on the evening, and he had I know there was a pass interference called here in the third quarter. It was definitely questionable, but congratulations to the Wadsworth Grizzlies as they will move on to week number 3 of the second season in the semifinals. We want to thank John Bernard downstairs making it all happen for WCTV. Upstairs on the press box, we have Aiden Uzinski and Abe on the cameras. And for my partner, Robert Rickenbacker, one final time, Wadsworth 21, North Ridgeville 10. So long, Wadsworth.
Congratulations, Grizzlies.
watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.